Live from the Hershey Park Stadium, Chocolate Town, USA. Championship weekend rolls on. The main event in Quad A, nationally ranked Central Bucks West, number 3 in the country, against the number 9 team in the country, the champion out of the West, the Ramblers of Erie Cathedral Prep. Delighted to have you at exclusive live coverage of the PIAA State Football Championships. Jed Donahue, the coach, Gary Sutton, also Mark Shuey. And you can see that in Erie, they are pumped for this football game. I don't know, Mark, it's about 40-some degrees, wind chill in the 20s.
Yeah, don't let that fool you. It's in no way warm.
But I guess Erie, they're used to winter. This is July in Erie, right? Weather like this.
Yeah, people are still camping out overnight, yeah.
Yeah, cold is relative when you come from Erie. So
let's talk about this game a little bit. For Erie Cathedral Prep, getting here was certainly a goal. They have a great young coach in Mike Mishler. And for Central Bucks West, this is on the pocket schedule that comes out in the middle of the summer. They're going for a 3rd consecutive state championship. The senior group has never lost a football game. They have won 44 games in a row.
Yeah, this group has not lost a game since 1996 when they lost to Plymouth Whitemarsh. Central Bucks West, out there nationally ranked. A great power, Dustin Bisciotti, the great fullback who's being scouted by a lot of big Division I programs. But you know what? They are vulnerable. They're vulnerable to the pass attack. They're invulnerable to the big play. So if I'm Mishler and Erie Prep, I go for the big play, score early, make CB West come from behind. And one thing that you have to be concerned about if you're CB West coach Mike Patton, and that is the turnover ratio. CB West is only a +1 throughout the year, which is relatively low for a championship team. So that means they put the ball on the floor a lot.
On the other side, you've got an Erie Cathedral Prep team with Eric Carlson, a quarterback, who's the happiest guy in the world tonight because the wind has gone down here a little bit. He can pass the ball this evening, but he doesn't just have to pass it. Jawan Walker has 1,398 yards and 22 touchdowns to go along with the 21 touchdowns that Carlson has passed for. This is an Erie Cathedral Prep team that's the #1 scoring team in the state of Pennsylvania, #1 differential. The only question mark is, has their schedule really toughened them enough for this game?
That's a good point, Gary. Yeah, only 4 Quad A teams in the District 10. So, yeah, Erie Cathedral Prep may have not seen the level of competition that Central Bucks West has. They've gone out of state, upstate New York, to play some teams as well. But, hey, they went through and took out WPIAL's Woodland Hills, which that's a good Woodland Hills team. Came into this game undefeated in the Western Final. And Erie Cathedral Prep, big victory over Woodland Hills to get here to Hershey in the championship game.
Well, Central Bucks West overwhelmed the opposition here a year ago. That was Newcastle, and it was 56-7 the final. Dustin Bisciotti put on quite a show. Maybe the player of the year in this state. Certainly going to be one of the candidates for that particular award. Had 5 touchdown runs. As you look at Eric Carlson, this is a key to the football game. There's our officiating crew here for this particular game tonight. But Bisciotti is a one-man wrecking crew. And, well, when you run the same plays in the same system year in and year out, he's the prototypical big back. You just give the big guy 30, 35 carries and take your chances, and that's what West will do here.
Well, 2 years ago, we watched a Mack truck in the brown and gold named Dave Armstrong. He's now at the University of Michigan. Dustin Bisciotti has broken each and every one of his records. Rushing, touchdowns, the whole bit. So Bisciotti has eclipsed all of the great Dave Armstrong's records. That tells you how good he is. 236 yards in the championship game last year. He comes to play on the big nights.
And it's a matchup of 2 different styles tonight. Erie Cathedral Prep is going to need the big play tonight. For Central Bucks West, when you talk about Mike Patton, you're talking about blocking. The very best in the state of Pennsylvania. They want the ball, and they want it for long periods of time. And when they do that, they are very, very tough to beat.
Well, for Erie Prep, they met CB West in 1991 in this particular game, and that was a good performance for CB West. Talk about winning streaks, they've certainly had a lot. How about this one, 44 games in a row, but in 1991 they played in this particular game, and it was a 26-14 CB West victory. The wins, it's significant, but not as much as it has been over the last couple of games. Our AAA game last night won by Strathaven, 21-7 over West Allegheny, certainly dictated by that. And I think earlier today, Mount Carmel losing to Tyrone by a final of 13-6. That game was certainly affected, but this seems to be dying down a little bit. It's certainly not where it was. We're going to the center of the field right now. Referee Donald Woodward gathering the captains for the toss.
Good luck to you. Good luck, young man. Good luck, young man. Good luck to you. Good luck, young man. Good luck. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. Okay, come on in and shake hands, gentlemen. Okay, fellas, my name is Mr. Woodard, the referee, and Mr. Freed is the umpire. Home team's in the black, visiting team's in the white. We're here to play football tonight, gentlemen. The biggest games of your lives tonight. Play football. Okay? You're going to call the coin. If I drop it, we'll toss it again. You're calling tails. Okay? You win the toss. You like to defer. You want to receive this end? Okay? X over here. Over here. Okay? Shake hands, gentlemen.
Well, we're gearing up. Central Bucks West, Erie Cathedral Prep. Crowd on both sides at a fever pitch. Got to give the Erie fans a lot of credit, making it a 4.5, 5-hour ride here to Chocolatetown. They've done that trip an awful lot in recent years for basketball. They have not had to make one from a football championship standpoint since 1991. And we're going to take you around this gorgeous facility. Bowl weekend. It's a bowl atmosphere here on Hershey property. Famous Hershey Park Arena across the way. And we're going to do it like all sporting events start with the national anthem, which we'll get to momentarily. Good night for football. It's a lot warmer, it seems to me, than even this afternoon. Again, the wind, it's still blowing, but not as significant a storyline as we got in 2 of the games this weekend. All 3 games have been brilliantly played, as we had thought they might be. Southern Columbia losing to Southside Beaver 27-21 in single A yesterday. Strathaven winning 21-7 last night. And then earlier today, Tyrone beat Mount Carmel 13-6. Here's our national anthem. Anticipated matchup. First time ever in the 12-year history of the PIAA State Championship that you get 2 nationally ranked teams in the same contest. Fox Sports has their national poll, and they have West slotted 3 and Erie 9, and USA Today has Central West at 3 and Erie at 9. Here's the Central Bucks West offense in this particular game, and again, there are the big guys up front. A lot of it's a rebuilt line. You've got Jeff Miskey, who's a returner from a year ago, but they've replaced Ben Carver, went on to the University of Virginia.
Only one guy under 200 pounds on that offensive line. Here you see the skill people. Of course, everything centers around Dustin Pisciotti, but quarterback Mike Oriel, very, very good quarterback. Doesn't make many mistakes. Throws for over 1,000 yards this year. Very good heads-up quarterback, veteran QB.
And, of course, Pisciotti with 37 touchdowns this year and 1,669 yards rushing. Those are gaudy figures on anyone's list.
Dave Camburn going deep for Central Bucks West, along with Zach Ingram. And Tom Morgan set to kick off here for Prep. And the much-anticipated Quad A final is underway as it goes out of bounds, and that will give West the ball at the 35-yard line, 1st and 10. We're going to talk about this guy a lot. He electrified us a year ago with 5 touchdowns. Dustin Bisciotti. You're looking at really one of the, I think, top 10 players in the United States.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that.
Not me talking. These are college coaches.
That's exactly right. I was going to say you can evidence that by the people that are recruiting him. The likes of Iowa, every Big Ten school is going after Dustin Bisciotti. There he is, number 33. Ohio State, Iowa, Pitt's going after Dustin Bisciotti. Miami, they would all love to see Dustin Bisciotti come to their school, but well, he's got a big one here tonight. Central Bucks West going for their 3rd consecutive Quad A title, unprecedented in the state of Pennsylvania.
You're a guy that likes to run the football, and if you like to watch the football being run, then you're going to like watching Central Bucks West. They average 240 yards rushing a game.
Here's Cathedral Prep's
Charles Rush, Big War Daddy up front. Get a slow start to this game. This will allow us the opportunity to look at the rest of the Erie defense. Joe Dupree, watch him. One of the real coming stars at the linebacker spot. His father played at Prep as well.
85 tackles for Dupree throughout the season.
And Sanders and Henkel are dynamic in the secondary. First play of the football game upcoming here. Pitch. This is Camber to the outside. Has 5. Big crushing block. 10 and a first down. A gain of 12 to the 47-yard line. Well, that's textbook CB West football. Seal the outside.
You're going to see Matt
Camber
Carey.
to the outside.
Watch this. Matt Carey, number 7, right there, is keeping his man to the inside. It allows the runner to get to the outside right around the corner, and you see him off to the races.
Did you see that block by Dustin Bisciotti around the near sideline? Oh.
Blew away Tim Dance.
245 pounds coming at you with a full head of steam. That's scary.
Nothing subtle about this offense for Central Bucks West. It's a system, same play. They're going to try it the other side. Not the same result, but positive nonetheless for a gain of 7 or 8.
Little key here in the opening going. Both times where Carey has been the side they run to. Number 7, look for him here on the right. He's leading it out for the tight end spot, and then right around the corner, pitch it out, let him run.
And Erie is going to call a timeout because they're very confused offensively here in the early going.
I'll tell you, Central Bucks West head coach Mike Pettin, he's been known to cross things up a little bit whenever people key on Dustin Bisciotti, or he expects them to key on Bisciotti, as I'm sure Erie Cathedral Prep is. They run more, they throw the ball well, and they use misdirection plays. So Mike Pettin's very good at taking the heat off his star player, Dustin Bisciotti, and dishing the ball around, changing his game plan a little bit.
One of the things, too, when you're coaching in a state championship game, Jed, is you're trying to get people to think about things other than that which they prepared for, kind of feeding off what Mark said, and you get them off that, then you maybe come back to what you normally do a little bit later on when the lesson has been forgotten.
The other thing about Bisciotti, and this is something Mike Pettin had told us that is so remarkable, is considering the year he has had, he has been the mark. Everybody has been keying on him. 8, 9-man fronts, yet he still has 1,669 yards. But they've been involved in a lot of blowouts this year, so obviously he's not playing in a lot of games in the fourth quarter and a lot in the second half. West had their feet in the fire, though, in the Eastern Final last week. They had to score 19 unanswered points in a 3-minute, 19-second window late fourth quarter to get through a tough Bethlehem Catholic outfit, 26-14. Looking at 2nd and 2 at their own, at the Erie Prep 46. Bisciotti, the lone setback, his first carry, and it's a first down carry, a gain of 4. This is the thing about him. Does that look like much? No, but it's still 4 yards, and it's 4 really hard yards.
But look at the straight-up blocking, just pushing people straight forward, and you go after it hard and dive for the first down, and you get it.
Damon Sanders up out of his cornerback spot to kind of throw the rug underneath. That takes some courage. Sanders being recruited. He's a great running back, but really defensive back at the next level. I know Iowa would love to have him.
Broke his foot this season on a defensive play, came in on a blitz, tripped over his own man, who was out for 6 weeks with a busted left foot.
It's going to be Cameron again, his second carry. He's getting big chunks of yardage from the 35-yard line. Another gain of 8.
One of the things the offensive line does so well for Central Bucks West is they move the line of scrimmage before the runner gets there. And you're going to see it again when we see the replay. By the time the runner gets to the line of scrimmage, it's advanced 3 yards already. So we'll see that as we progress through the evening here with Central Bucks West and with Erie Cathedral Prep too.
That's good. That's a good point, Gary. And the runners do take that wide swath to let the linemen sustain their blocks and push the line of scrimmage backwards.
No, Pisciotti will be the lone setback. Mike Oriole, he's a junior quarterback. Very resourceful. There's Pisciotti burrowing, powering. Close to a first down. He might be stopped a bit short.
Nothing fancy about what Central Bucks West does to you. And look how tight the formation is. It makes it very hard to see where the handoffs are. And as they're coming on you, I mean, they really put the blockers up front. They block as well as any team you'll ever see.
When a team needs a yard, that's a very tough formation to stop. You know, you got two backs right off the slot back and the tailback, yard off the line of scrimmage, and you got a guy like Pisciotti carrying the ball after that, and it's very difficult to stop if you only need short yardage situation.
Let us sit there, hold the ball.
So it's a first down carry for Pisciotti. By the way, there's an interesting note on him. He had an 84-yard run for a touchdown last year against Newcastle. That was the longest run from scrimmage until earlier today. Talk about that here momentarily. 9:58 left. Very confusing start to this game, and West now wants timeout. Mike Pettin not happy with what he is seeing down there a little bit.
Well, you mentioned the longest touchdown run. Yeah, about 3 hours ago or so, Jesse Jones from Tyrone took off on a 92-yard romp towards the end of the game, which sealed Tyrone's AA championship over Mount Carmel earlier today at the Hershey Park Stadium.
You mentioned Mike Pettin, the only coach that Central Bucks West has ever had in the history of the school.
A record of 325, 42, and 4. In the 1990s, Central Bucks West has a record of 120 and 8. 8 losses this decade.
Well, Mike Pettin going for a 16th undefeated season tonight. That is astounding to me. I'd say that's fairly successful. Been a lot of talk about Coach Pettin maybe stepping down, and a lot of people believe he's going to stick around for a while, which is only good news for football in this state. He says everybody treats his team like it's their Super Bowl. They take everybody's best shot week in, week out.
And they still have a 0 on their record in the loss column at this time of year.
Ball at the Prep 33. Here's Pisciotti, gets to the inside. Ball is out. Ball is down. Who's got it? I think Erie Prep has got the first turnover of the night, and they do.
Well, what we tell you in the pregame about the tendency of Central Bucks West to put the ball on the floor. And there we see a promising drive snuffed out by a CB West turnover.
They've been weathering this storm all year long. Now, Pisciotti got hit in the hand a few weeks ago.
His right hand.
The one carrying the ball, and that's where they went to it.
Right here, you see it. Getting that helmet in there, knocking the ball loose.
Damon Sanders knocked it out of there.
Great defensive play by Damon Sanders. Put his hat right on the ball. Out it came. Erie jumps on it. Big turnover.
Well, a team of West gaudy statistics was only a +1 giveaway takeaway. We'll meet the Erie offense momentarily. There's Sanders flying into the stack. Nothing doing. Let's meet Erie on offense. Eric Carlson is their quarterback, Mark. 5'11". There are many who say if he is about 6'2", 6'3", that he would be at the top of the food chain as far as the next level.
Yeah, there you see.
There are the linemen for you.
These guys do all the work up front.
Kaczynski is a hammer. Kujawa's had a great year at the center spot.
There's Carlson, 1,600 yards, a great touchdown to interception ratio, 21-6.
Lustig and Mays know how to get it done at the wide receiver spot.
Walker, 22 touchdowns on the ground as we have a penalty flag on the field.
Both teams just a tad out of whack early. We have 9-12 in the opening quarter. The officiating crew talking things over.
I think this one's going to go against the Bucks.
Let's go down to Donna Woodard.
Dead ball. Coach, but against the defense, still second down.
And the defense. Shoddy will go over and play defensive end. Watch Brian Colohan. Ryan Blumgren, his brother Travis, a quarterback and defensive back here a few years ago. DiGiacomo playing hurt. Camburn playing with shin splints over the last 5 weeks. He didn't look slow at all, though, in their first series offensively. More flags. What's up here?
Back him up 5. Back him up 5.
Now they're going 5 the other way.
Dead ball. Illegal substitution against the offense. Still second down.
Officials are all over that illegal substitution. They're trying to keep an eye on things along those lines. Saw a few of those earlier today in the Mount Carmel Tyrone game.
You'd find this strange, Jeb, but one of the early things you have to look for here, the jitters of wanting to play too quickly, too fast, and even some coaches sometimes getting used to things over there on the sideline as far as getting people in and out of the game.
Carlson steps under center. Lustig in motion. They're handed off to Sanders. Not much doing there at all. West getting great thrust. Popping through there for the Bucks. Rob Bowser, 6'2", 250.
Sanders just lost his balance here. Watch him put his right foot forward right here and just slip out. Banged into his own man. Coming right in there behind number 13. That was Josh Lustig.
Brian Callahan also helped blow that play up. 3rd and 6 for Erie Prep here. Ball at the 33. Carlson's first pass of the night. And he's under heavy pressure. Down he goes. Ball is down, and Central Bucks West covers at the 28-yard line. Back-to-back turnovers, forcing it out. Matt Showalter for Central Bucks West on the sack. And we'll see who gets the recovery.
Brian Callahan gets the recovery, number 84. Watch this. Carrying it, just lost control. You got to put that thing away, and there's Callahan diving on top of it.
That's a huge turnover.
You'll see Callahan diving straight in here to get it.
Put a play by Showalter. It jiggled that arm, and out came the ball. Like an ornament falling off the tree. Camburn, he's run well early. Leather to leather with Lustig at the 24-yard line.
Good block by Jeff Miskey on the left side to open him up that time.
Still scoreless here in this opening quarter, as you see the Erie Prep defense. They look like the University of Tennessee with that bright orange and the P on the helmet.
That's Josh Lustig, 5'9", 155-pound junior in the defensive secondary of Erie Prep.
Seems to be some confusion as to who they want in or out of the football game. Some of the coaches on the sideline looking up to the coach's box. Will be Pishotti pounding in, and they crawl all over him there. Charles Rush. Joe Dupree, number 40, middle linebacker. Joe Moore is an assistant for Erie Prep.
And there you see Pishotti straight up the gut. Physical runner on the inside.
But Joe Moore is a guy that was at Notre Dame and has been back at Erie Cathedral Prep for the last couple of years. Taught Dupree really all the intricacies of how to play middle linebacker, and he is a great prospect. Already hearing from Notre Dame, Penn State, Pitt, and the like. He's one of the top players in this state next year. They're going to need him to make some plays tonight to minimize the damage. 3rd and 6 now for West. They are so disciplined the way they get into their stance. Oriole on a keeper. This is wide open. Oriole to the 15, head down and a first down. They're knocking on the door at the Erie Prep 12-yard line. Well-designed play. Technically flawless on the offensive side. And I think Pichotti's hurt on the 22-yard line.
Pishotti is hurt. There's Mike Oriole. I'll tell you, he's a great heads-up quarterback. He's very smart. He's got in fact, probably his best asset is his head. He's a very smart quarterback. And he's got some good pedigree. His father was a quarterback. His 2 brothers were quarterbacks. One was sent to the University of Kentucky, where he got a full ride as a quarterback. However, had a knee injury, and that ended his career. His other one was other brother, Jeff, went to Rowan University, and he suffered a fairly serious knee injury, unfortunately, too. So, but the Orioles have a good quarterback pedigree, and what these brothers and their dad do when Mike comes home from the games, they look at the tapes and they criticize him. And he says, it's like sitting in your living room with 3 Mike Pettins. My brothers and my dad are sitting there tearing apart the tapes and giving me constructive criticisms after the game.
It looks like they're looking at the outside of the right ankle of Pishotti as they're working it right there and looking for range of motion. They're looking right in here. I don't know if we can go back and see how he did it. If he just turned it or stepped on another player's foot.
I'm not certain. It was away from the ball. As you saw, Pishotti went right on a decoy and came up lame right away.
And there he's sitting up now anyway, but he's just kind of making sure that everything's okay.
They turn that. You talk about concern.
Now he's one strong.
Mike Pettin's coming out now to the. That's him with a Bucks jacket on there. He obviously wants to find out how the franchise is doing.
He's one strong dude. He's a tremendous physical specimen. He bench presses 385 pounds. He runs a 4.5 40, and he's got a 38-inch vertical leap. What can he do?
And he's 6'3" and 245 pounds.
They're going to have to help him off. This is
not what you want to see in a championship
really want to
game.
see everybody's best player. I mean, I've spent the better part of a week looking forward to seeing this guy play, Mark.
He cannot put any weight on that right ankle.
This is a significant storyline in this game right here.
Mark it down at 6:41 of the first quarter, and
they'll be looking at that. Last year, 236 yards, 5 touchdowns, including an 84-yarder. He has been just outstanding again this year. Again, the state player of the year, the leading candidate for state player of the year. So, Bishadi will take a seat on the bench. Andy Schmidt is in the game as his replacement for now. Check that. That's going to be Andrew Elsing. Bamberg is going to see a lot more carries. Flies inside the 10 down to about the 8-yard line. Well, one player doesn't make a great system. Central Bucks West obviously has talent in other areas. This guy, though, is going to have to get a lot more carries now.
What opened that up was the block by Ryan Blomgren that time, as he opened it up, and quickly through the hole went Dave Cameron, a guy who also has some physical problems, but again, as you mentioned earlier, Jed, does not seem to be bothering him so far with those shin splints.
Shoddy now over on the table, by the way, behind the West bench. 2nd and 5, the ball at the 9-yard line. It's off the Carlson fumble. Coming with it, Camberg. Make that Blomgren for the touchdown. Nope, they say he's out at the 1-yard line.
Blomgren, who just threw the great block a moment ago, this time goes on the sweep to the near side and almost takes it in.
Right to the 1-inch line here.
Look at the blocking. You see just white jerseys going down the whole way along. And finally, right down at the 1-yard line goes Ryan Blomgren, a 6'1", 195-pound senior.
Well, they're knocking right on the door. This might be Mike Oriole just on a quick quarterback sneak. Got a great center in Showalter. He's the only member of the line under 200 pounds, as Mark talked about. They'll hand it off. Cameron, touchdown. Central Bucks West is on the board. Make that Blomgren on the score. 6-0. Bucks early.
Blomgren straight ahead. It looked like he had gotten over the play before. This time, no doubt about it, as he puts the body in the end zone, and Central Bucks West, well, the faces may change, but the system stays the same, and they're on the board 6-0 at 5:33 of the first quarter.
For the conversion is Tumulty. 5:33 to go in this opening half. Tumulty's kick is up, and it is good. So we get a timeout on the field with 5:33 left to go in this opening quarter. It's 7-0. Central Bucks West on this play from Ryan Blomgren from the 1-yard line.
Nothing fancy. You saw John Baer just laying out a block in front. Blomgren got right in behind him and dove into the end zone.
A reminder that all of this great 1999 state football championship action is being televised statewide on the Pennsylvania Cable Network. Available to millions of state residents and fans of high school championship sports. Jed Donahue, the coach, Gary Sutton, also Mark Shuey, and our entire WITF production crew bringing you the sounds and pictures of the championship weekend 1999. 6-play, 27-yard drive set up on the fumble by Carlson. Showalter knocked the ball free, and 7-0 Central Bucks West, but a painful touchdown drive because Dustin Pishotti, the leading player for Central Bucks West, apparent ankle injury, which they are currently working on, over behind the Central Bucks West bench, and he was helped off the field, so we're not sure exactly what his status is right now. But as soon as we can find out, we will let you know. You
know, the one thing it would seem this early in the game for Erie Cathedral Prep, Mark, that's so important, make sure you don't allow them to get into an offensive rhythm, no matter who's in there. And that's exactly what they were able to do after the fumble recovery.
That's exactly right. What Coach Mike Mishler wants to do right now for Erie Cathedral Prep is just get his offense on the field, pick up a couple of first downs, get, like you said, get some offensive rhythm right now, and get a feel for this ball game offensively.
And Hinkle, he can really fly. One man to beat, has the corner. 30, 35, step around, moving all the way up to the 43-yard line. Ed Hinkle is an electrifying talent. That's a 28-yard return, and Erie Prep with good field position with 5:23 left here in the opening quarter. Down now 7-0.
Took one back the whole way last week against Woodland Hills. He's done that. He is a very dangerous punt returner and kick returner. You can see why. He has the ability to shake tackles. Great field vision. Look at him looking upfield. Finds his lane, cuts inside, picks up additional yardage before he's finally brought down.
Incomplete on the pass. Hinkle covered over there very well. Ted Kenyon, there's Dustin Pisciotti, and there's what they're working on. They're retaping. He's got pretty good motion there.
He'll be coming back in.
Looks like he will be returning.
Yep. And they're getting that thing taped up in a hurry right now, so I think you're going to see Pisciotti coming back to the game probably next series.
This would be tremendous news for Central Bucks West. This is Damon Sanders. He's a handful to midfield, gain of 6. Mentioned Sanders had to miss 6 games this year with a broken foot mark, but boy, is he coffee quick. Look at him hit the hole.
Yes, he is. Yeah, look at this. Nice hole opened up and takes a pop, but he keeps on going. Good instincts from Sanders.
One of the things about Sanders that makes him such a tough runner, too, he's only 5'9", and he runs low, so he's a very tough target to find. And when you finally do get him, he's a little bit tough to tackle as well.
Yeah, that's right. One of those guys you really don't get a good shot on because he's a very shifty runner. Good footwork.
3rd and 4 for Erie Prep. Right at midfield. Now run Sanders. Not much room to breathe. He's close to the first down. Tackle for West, Brian Callahan. This is right on the stick.
That's going to be tight.
It's going to be about a yard shy. Mike Mishler, I think, might end up going for it here.
Oh, boy. That's about the length of the football shy, it looks to me from here.
You feel like you got to answer right now if you're Erie Cathedral Prep, even though you're down 7-0.
Yeah. I mean, this field's playing long because of the wind. Not as long in this game as the others we've mentioned, but why not? They have a late substitution.
Yeah,
into the
watch
game.
that.
I don't know if he's been the 15-yard. They got Carlson, first down. He got enough. Boy, he barely just got in.
Yeah.
Jed, that's a solid call. You cannot allow Central Bucks West to keep putting their offense on the field and beating you up as we see Carlson get the first down on the quarterback sneak. The worst thing that can happen is let them get on the field, eat up time, and put you down a couple of scores.
Well, that was a nice safe call. They ran right behind Craig Kujawa, their 6'4", 195-pound senior center, and got the job done. 1st and 10, the ball at the CB West 45-yard line. Erie Prep trying to answer. First trip for them to the state final since '91. Carlson back, and Showalter's got a handful of them at the 49. It's a loss of 4, but Carlson probably getting real tired of seeing number 50 for Central Bucks West crawl right through his front door.
You see the pocket set up, and then Showalter just comes straight in. Here's the pocket. Take a look right here. Stop right there. Here's the pocket right in here he's looking at. Showalter disrupts it coming in from the far side, and you'll see what happens. Bang.
Just blew right through Damon Sanders there for the sack. That's a second one of the football game.
Sanders has to set that block up about 2 yards in front of his quarterback to give him more of a pocket.
We'll get underneath and send him airborne. Easier said than done, right? This is going to be Jawan Walker. He's loose. Big yardage. Still alive to the West 25-yard line. Gain of 24. Jawan Walker filled in so marvelously well for the injured Damon Sanders earlier this year. He's over 1,300 yards on the season, and here's why.
A little bit of a delayed handoff there, and it really caught the charging Central Bucks West defense off guard as Walker broke loose into the open field, and all of a sudden new life now for Erie Cathedral Prep at the 25.
Led by big 265-pound tackle Charles Rush.
Walker again. And this time gets caught in the wash at the 24-yard line. Walker over 1,400 yards now for the season rushing the football. Came in averaging 8.1 yards a carry. He's got gaudy numbers.
23 touchdowns.
Here's what you get to do if you're a running back. have a lot of people that you make friends with every play.
How explosive is Erie? They've got 5 or 6 games here, Mark, where they're over 50 points. They hung a 70 spot on Shenley during the PIAA playoffs.
And their defense has only given up 82 points all year.
Carlson, quick drop, quick throw over the middle, almost intercepted by Ted Kenyon.
Kenyon did a nice job of sticking right in there at his defensive back spot and waiting. Never really left. Saw the play materialize right off the stop.
Yeah, that's good instincts by Kenyon. He saw the route the receiver was running, stepped in front, had a good shot at picking off that pass.
1:57 to go here. There's your time on the upper right-hand corner of your screen. As Erie Prep on a long march, about to embark on their 9th play of this drive. 3rd and 9 at the CB West 24-yard line. Carlson under center. Quick handoff, Sanders, nothing doing. Just hit immediately. And in on the stop is Rob Bowser, the senior, 6'2", 250.
Take a look. Tough running there against the CB West defense. Quick shoot right there for Sanders and then taken down immediately. One of the things here you can see earlier is we see a timeout called to the official on the field, Jed. You're looking at a front line of CB West that goes 6'3", 6'2", 6'4", 6'2", and you're looking at a quarterback that's only 5'11", and it seems like he's having a little bit of a problem seeing over that front line and getting a clear look at his receivers when he does pass.
You okay?
Ball at the 24-yard line, minute 35 left in this opening quarter. That's a big play, 4th down and 8. There's no question you go here. Got some big play wideouts. Carlson back. Carlson looks into the end zone. Intercepted. Kenyon to take it back for the touchdown. An incredible play. I don't believe what I just saw. Ed Hinkle took it away, and it's a touchdown. In the corner of the end zone. Kenyon had it, and Hinkle took it back.
Look at this. You talk about your 50-50 ball. Beautiful pass. Laid it out there. Being played the whole way down there. Nicely by Kenyon, and then Hinkle just grabs it and steals it and says, give me that thing. Touchdown. Wow.
That's an amazing play right there. That's as wacky as you'll see. Ed Hinkle. That's a 6th touchdown of the year by reception.
One-on-one coverage back there in the defensive backfield. Came with a blitz.
Can't be too upset as a defensive coach with Kenyon. He had it played the whole way. He was watching it, picked it off, and just had it taken out of his hands.
False start against the offense. Repeat the try.
Sometimes the other guy just makes the play, and that time Ed Hinkle just made the great play, and that gave Erie Prep the touchdown. 7-6 the score. Erie Prep trying to tie it up.
The extra point will be 5 yards longer here on illegal procedure, and this can be a very important.
Extra point for Jason Dolick. The kick is up, and it is good. 1:16 to go. A lightning bolt here in Quad A. Ed Hinkle, who stole the football away, a 10-play, 56-yard drive. It takes 4 minutes and 17 seconds. And that was on 4th down, the Hinkle touchdown catch. That's the 2nd time they converted 4th down in that particular drive, and they did it for the touchdown.
Well, it paid off twice for them, and 7-7 on the board with 1:16 to go in the first quarter. We got ourselves a football game.
That was one of the most unusual plays I've seen at the high school level.
He's been kind of speechless since.
Well, he actually had the pickoff.
He did. He had the
pick. It was intercepted. I was calling interception, then Hinkle just took it right back from him.
And you had it right. He had it intercepted, and all of a sudden, give me that thing.
Great football instincts. You know, gee, Hinkle just made a flat-out great play. There's Mike Pettin.
Great work, too, from our WITF production crew. Again, they had all the angles for you there. That'll be a part of our halftime package of highlights.
You know, these guys and gals have been doing the games from WITF since 1993 in all kinds of weather, all kinds of conditions, and they have been able to provide you, the public, with some of the most riveting pictures that really, truly capture the essence of what's going on here at the PIAA Championships.
Short kickoff this time, Blumgren. Lundgren's got some wheels, though, and he flies to about the 38-yard line. Pishotti will not be in the lineup here. And I'm not sure when we'll see him. He's still sitting over on the CB West bench.
Head bowed, we might add. Not looking like he's too happy at the moment.
They've got ice over there on that. They are working, doing everything they can to try and... But I saw him walking here behind the bench, and he's doing it gingerly. We've got a camera over there. We'll show it to you momentarily after the play. 1st and 10 for West here at their own 37-yard line. So Orioles going to throw for the first time. Got a man right out of the hands of Andrew Elsing. Elsing, a hero a week ago. He set up the block that got Cameron free for the winning, the go-ahead score on the punt return. There he is. And that is wrapped pretty tight.
Yep. Boots off.
Yep, no shoe on it. He's not coming back, at least for now.
That's a wait and see at this point. We'll see if we can go back to that play. I don't know, probably by halftime we'll see if we can find it. See exactly what happened to him. I mean, he just went down. There was no doubt.
Yeah, and it was well away from the ball. It was very strange.
Yeah, so disciplined up front, especially this time of year. Orioles got a man that can't hang on again. Another drop. That's Camburn that time.
Yeah, Camburn really trying to go before he ever had it there.
Yeah, and you know, quarterback Mike Oriole, he's not really gunning these things in there. I mean, he's putting a nice touch onto it. Hitting them in the hands. Just one of those nights for some of these receivers, I guess, for CB West. But nice touch on the ball by Oriole.
3rd and 10 for Central Bucks West. 1 minute and 1 second remain in this first quarter of play. It's been great having you all weekend long, Pennsylvania, on the Pennsylvania Cable Network. Championship at Quad A. 7-7 our score. Cameron going to motion here. Oriole back to throw. He'll run too if he can. Prep's got pretty good surge, and Sanders cuts the rug at the 38-yard line. That's why he's being looked at as a big-time player. Eric Field was over there, but Damon Sanders, this is quality cornerback play here.
Watch the fill here the whole way across. Just take the play, string it out, string it out, string it out, and you finally just run him out of bounds, and just outstanding pursuit laterally that time by Erie Cathedral Prep's defense.
And led by Eric Field. You mentioned the number 33, the linebacker. He filled that one hole that Oriole was going to take it up in.
Damon's 5'9", but packs a wallop. So CB West will punt. They almost got at that Field. Had his hands up, and it'll go to the 40-yard line. Great field position for Erie Prep. That was a 22-yard punt. There's your time remaining in this first quarter. Well, Erie Prep, they come here with a lot to prove, Mark. You mentioned about their schedule. It's about respect. Win here tonight against Central Bucks West. I don't think that's a problem anymore.
You know, yeah, you can say whatever you want about the schedule, but I mean, there's a lot of talent on Erie Cathedral Prep's team. A lot of guys looking at Division I scholarships. Charles Rush, the 265-pound junior, he attended Penn State's Michigan game in Happy Valley on an unofficial visit. He went to their summer camp. Dale Williams, junior linebacker Joe Dupree. They're looking at Pitt.
Sanders' big hole just did get tripped up, and had he not been tripped up by Blumgren, he's gone. He got positive yardage, 5 yards, but I mean, a toe tapper, and otherwise he's history.
One shoe top away right there, and you saw Blumgren hanging on to it for dear life.
That's the end of the first quarter of play. Very entertaining first quarter. One filled with some very interesting storylines. 2 turnovers, 1 led to a score for Central Bucks West, and Dustin Pisciotti out of the football game. The All-State fullback, running back for the Bucks with an ankle injury. Hurt, still sitting.
Hurt in the second series for CB West.
There he is, as good a player as you're going to find in this state. He's one of the greatest players in their storied tradition at Central Bucks West.
What happens if you give it a shot?
First quarter statistics, Mark. Why don't you read some of those for me there? As far as the numbers are concerned, it's about as even as the score at 7-7.
Well, Central Bucks West, nothing through the air, 56 yards rushing, 1 turnover, and it was a biggie. Erie Prep, they spread it around. Very good balanced offense. 40 yards rushing, 24 yards passing for a total of 66, and 1 turnover for Erie.
One of the things the trainer's talking about
here's the play on Pisciotti right here. Let's see if we can find it. He's in the upper right. He's 33 right there. And that's Charles Rush that's in and around. That's where it happened. They went for him. That was a great fake. That's the deception of the West offense. Rush went after Pisciotti, and his ankle gave way.
Kind of slid underneath Pisciotti and turned the ankle.
If we can come back to the picture of Pisciotti there behind the bench, and I don't know if we can, the trainer's talking to Pisciotti over there, and I think what they're trying to talk about is, would it feel better if you put a heel lock on it? One of the things that a lot of times they'll try to do to give it a little stability is take the tape from the back of the heel down to the bottom, and you'll see, if we can see the ankle here, if you can imagine taking and bringing it up like this. That's what he was talking to him about a moment ago, what we call a heel lock, and it comes up underneath there to try to give a little stability to the ankle.
Carlson, as we go back to live action, has Josh Lustig, and he's got a first down as they get a gain there of about 11 yards. Lustig's the big play guy on this offense, averaging 27 yards a catch. There's the student body at Erie Prep. They left no doubt as to what they thought of Central Bucks West, Mark, and about 4 o'clock this afternoon, they were all yelling in unison, overrated.
They've been standing up in the stands there like that since about 4 o'clock this afternoon.
That's to be determined. Carlson, who got a real good arm for Lustig, a little bit too strong and incomplete. Camburn step for step. But Carlson gives you an idea just how vertical he can go. That was a pretty good looking throw. And earlier today, you couldn't throw from this direction where Erie is going. You couldn't throw at this end zone.
Oh, no. I heard some of the interviews with the Tyrone and the Mount Carmel kids after the ball game. A very thrilling AA final. Anyway, each to a man, each and every one of them said that the wind was such a factor that it affected each and every play that they called today.
And when all the fans started getting here early, it was, again, a big factor. Huge crowd from Central Bucks West. A lot of people from Erie's. Carlson, play action. He's back under the gun. Throws on the move. Has a man. And I believe that is going to be Ed Hinkle at the 39-yard line.
Ed Hinkle already the hero tonight for Erie Cathedral Prep. But watch Carlson here. You know, Carlson does a great job of coming back, keeping the poise, and then turning and making sure he hits his man with a good down and out pattern.
He was actually looking for DeMond Sanders on the other side of the field. Saw he was covered. Had a blitz coming in and had time to find Hinkle on the far sideline. Excellent play by the quarterback, Eric Carlson.
Game tied at 7 with 10:40 and counting to go in this second quarter of play. And Erie Prep playing pretty well. Good-looking quad A game right now. Carlson on a keeper, and oh, there's that Mike Showalter again. He's been living on him. And another big loss. That's not Showalter, that's Andrew Elsing.
And frankly, that was a busted play because Carlson turned around and looked for a back, and there was none. He said, whoops, got to take off of my own.
That was a pretty good surge right there, and it'll be 4th down, and let's go about 7 or 8 at this point.
Looking at the young man who just made that fine play, linebacker Andrew Elsing.
Punt for Hinkle back at his own 39. Low shot, and Erie will cover at the 22-yard line, and that's where the Central Bucks West offense will go back.
You know, if you're a fan of the 4A game tonight, you can see a lot of the Central Bucks West fans sitting there, not too happy at the moment, knowing Dustin Pisciotti sitting on the sideline and not able to get in the game, as we see Mike Pettin talking to his young quarterback there, Mark Oriel. But, you know, everybody here tonight, that's all that was on the lips when you walked around the stadium before the game today was Pisciotti, and here he is now out of the game. And again,
we have word that they're going to try and bring him back after halftime. They're going to try and get through this second quarter and things. It's tied at 7. Handoff. I believe this is Camburn, and he's got maybe a yard. That's it. Charles Rush, Joe Dupree in on the stop.
See it here, diving over the tackle, and just things were botched up from the beginning on that. Nowhere to go.
That Joe Dupree, number 40, really has a nose for the football, doesn't he? Out of the linebacker spot, he really finds the ball carrier in a hurry.
6'5", 230. There he is right there.
Already looking at Pitt.
His dad played for Frank Kersey at the University of Kentucky. Big hole, Camburn. First down hole all the way to the 36-yard line. Hinkle and Sanders combine on the stop. I don't know how Charles Rush ended up over there, but that gives you an idea of his speed for Erie Cathedral Prep. He's a down lineman. He's around the play.
See the blocking right here. Good lead block that time by number 68. That was Rob Bowser to open up the wing.
That's a great pair of DBs. Their whole secondary is really good.
There's Robbie Bowser right there. 6'2", 250. I'd like to run behind him myself.
And they do. Regularly. Kenyon into the game. Oreo still keeping the ball. Now throwing on the run. Got a man, and it's caught for a first down. Andrew Elsing, who just had a quarterback sack, doing his part on offense now to the 49-yard line. That's positive yardage.
So important to be able to square your shoulders. Take a look right here and stop. And we'll see the young man squaring up his shoulders right there to throw the football. Once he does that, throwing it downfield and finding his man.
14 yards in all to the 49-yard line. I think you got a timeout on the field at this point with 9:03.
Mike Mishler may want to talk things over for Erie Cathedral Prep on that last play. Erie Cathedral Prep dodged a bullet. Ted Kenyon was wide open down the middle of the field. He went on a straight fly. Nobody picked him up. Obvious defensive breakdown on the part of Cathedral Prep, and maybe Mishler wants to kind of plug that hole right now.
The thing you have to be aware of when you play Central Bucks West is having your defense have to sit in that field too long, and they make the clock their friend. And right now, Central Bucks West appears to be trying to do that, although they're passing the ball more probably than they would normally with Pisciotti in there.
That's exactly right. And that's some of the technique that Mike Pettin uses when teams are keying on Pisciotti. He throws the ball more, uses more misdirection, gets more people into the games, and that's what we're seeing tonight here from Central Bucks West. Using a lot of personnel, throwing the ball around, some misdirection.
7 first downs so far for Central Bucks West, but they've only been in 2 third-down situations, which tells you they're taking big hunks of yardage on first and second down.
That's important.
9:03 left. It's been great having you all weekend long here on the Pennsylvania Cable Network. It's state history in the making, the 1999 PIAA State Football Championships, televised live across the Commonwealth for a second straight year on PCN, the Pennsylvania Cable Network. Ball right at midfield, 1st and 10, Oriole. Junior quarterback has come such a long way. Handoff for West. This is Phil DiGiacomo, who's been playing hurt a little bit. I think he's got a variety of miseries, such as a hip pointer and the like.
Watch the double team block here. You got Colohan, and you've also got Blomgren that really opened up that particular run.
Central Bucks West, they're a gritty bunch. Last week against Bethlehem Catholic, they trailed 14-7 with 6 minutes remaining. Rallied to score 3 touchdowns and win that ball game and advance to the finals here in Hershey.
Motion man is Andy Schmidt. Oriole going to pitch this time. Going to be Cameron. Nothing doing that time. I think that's Charles Rush in there. I'll double check to make sure who's around. Nope, that's going to be Jason Easter in on the stop. Junior, 5'7".
You mentioned about this team being behind twice last week as we see the run here again by number 41 Cambram. They hadn't been behind for 13 straight games until last week, so you get an idea that they're used to being front runners, and you get them out in front, they're pretty tough to catch up.
And you know what, Coach Mike Pettin, he's been around 33 years. You know what he does to motivate his teams? He uses some neat stuff. He said before the North Penn game, he goes, let me explain to you what would happen if you lose this ball game. I'll continue the thought after the play.
3rd and 5 at the 46-yard line. Oriole gonna throw, he's got a man, it's DiGiacomo, and he dropped it, incomplete. It'll be 4th down, and they're gonna have to punt on 4th and 5.
Yeah, head coach Mike Pettin uses some neat motivational techniques. Prior to the North Penn game, a very, very tough rival in District 1, Mike Pettin told his team, you know what, let me explain to you what you're gonna have to go through if you lose this game. The fans are going to rip down the goalposts. You're going to have to sit there and be sportsmen and go over and shake their hands. Now, if you want to avoid all that, there's only one thing you can do. Win the football game.
Of course, it didn't hurt either that the younger Pettin was coaching North Penn's team.
Mike Pettin Jr. has got a heck of a program. Look, Cameron really laid that up there. Henkel fair catch is at about the 13-yard line. So trading in a chess match a little bit. Gary, when you lose a star player, much like what's happened with Central Bucks West. As a coach, what are you doing? Because this has to be deflating somewhat.
Well, there's two things that happen. Number one, for the defense of Erie Cathedral Prep, they've got to look at some new numbers that they were not planning on focusing on to start the game. But on the other side, you've got to find the character of your team. Do they have the ability to step up, and can you find someone that can carry the load at this moment? And one of the nice things about the Central Bucks West program is they have the same thing going on all the time. You can fit a new piece into the puzzle.
There's one weakness in the West defense. It might be the secondary. They're going to stay on the ground. Sanders coming right through. Angelo Varillo, a junior, 6'3", 235, and on the stop.
You know, Gary, you brought up a good point. The powerful football programs throughout the state, you know, the players, they're almost like a shark's tooth. You know, there's one right behind you to replace you when you either graduate or go down with an injury. And Central Bucks West is the same situation. Now, Dustin Pisciotti is up on his feet for the first time since the injury. He's kind of gingerly walking along the sidelines. There you see him. He's vertical, and that's a good sign.
Well, the problem you have also is Pisciotti's got a lot of games to play yet in his career before it's all said and done, and you don't want to take a chance on any permanent damage. No coach would do that.
Carlson back, looks, throws, and it's incomplete. Pass intended for Jake Lynch.
Easy, gentlemen, way to go.
Nice coverage by James West that time, as you see him standing in the middle of your picture.
3rd and 8.
Not to be confused with the Wild Wild.
Right now, 3rd down and 8. We've got a whistle and an official's timeout. Or, yep, officials talk things over here.
I think that secondary must have heard you a few minutes ago,
Okay,
Jeff.
got
Pretty
a
good
sideline
hit by
warning.
West.
Get him back. Got a sideline warning. Back him up.
Just a sideline warning about.
The next one, coach. The 3 in the box. We got more than 3 in the box. Get the players back. Get everybody else back. Next one. Okay.
There's not even a clearly defined box.
Coach.
There's not even a clearly defined
Players
box.
back there. Get them back
Here
there.
you go, John.
Okay?
You guys got to get back. Hey,
Coach,
Frank,
Coach.
that's you, Naylor, too.
No, back there. Coach, next one's a 5-yard penalty. Okay. A sideline warning against Central Bucks.
Well, that's the game within a game right there. Coaches.
That's a neat peek aspect of football you really don't get.
Yeah. You don't miss anything down there, do you, Gary?
Well, you don't, and it's
you try
important.
not to anyway.
And the officials want to make sure they've got control. They're being evaluated during the game as well.
Carlson back, looks, got a man, and it's caught. Nope, they say it was out of bounds. The official was right there. He had a perfect look at it.
Well, you talk about a great throw, though. My goodness, it was a real tough throw, too.
This is a 45-yard throw.
Watch this. Good setup. Steps into it. Let's see. We'll freeze it right here when it comes up. Does he have it? No. Does not have control at that point as he hits the ground. Hey, it was pretty close, though.
And they almost got the ball, and Cameron, who returned one a week ago, flies upfield to about the 39-yard line. So Central Bucks West will start at the Erie Prep 39 with 6:16 left in this second quarter of play. Teams are trading punches a little bit. Kind of the middle rounds of a title fight.
Well, right now it's a game of field position, and you really don't want to do anything that's not playing too close to the chest right now. Pisciotti continuing to walk around down here on the far side and looks a little bit better each time.
Trying to warm it up a little bit. Blumgren on the carry, not much there. Yard or two, that's it. Joe Dupree in on the stop. I think he's shaking up a little bit.
Take a look. It's a straight handoff and nothing in front of him except air.
Yeah, Dupree's all right.
Dupree was untouched, unblocked.
Just the shock of the tackle there. Shock on shock. Pad on pad at the 37-yard line. Orium on a keeper, flag flies, ball is out, and it goes out of bounds.
60, you're tackling the guy.
And it's a hold.
60's tackling
It's going to be a number 60 here, and we're looking
Nick
down.
Daly.
And that's Nick Daly. He was actually tackled, holding on to the guy coming around. It's going to be holding.
10 from here.
We'll see it again if we get a replay here.
So to go back from the 40 all the way back up near midfield.
Holding against Face the offense. Repeat, second down.
Okay, take a look. And you couldn't really see it too well right there, but right back there, 60 was actually on the ground and just pulled the guy back down.
Yeah, it was up on the upper left-hand side of your screen. Referee spotted it right away.
That's one thing this weekend, Jed. You just have to have your hats off to the referee. Outstanding officiating throughout the weekend. Not one close call.
They have missed many close calls. They haven't missed any I've seen. They don't get instant replay. Oriole down in a heap. Charles Rush has him. You're looking at one of the finest defensive linemen in the state of Pennsylvania. He's on everybody's radar screen for the next level. He is a big-time war daddy.
What you're not seeing is him fighting through a lot of blocks right there. He's double-teamed, actually, at the line of scrimmage. There's Daly having a tough time with him once again.
Well, and Daly was holding on to the back of his shirt, and it still didn't help. She felt, fought through two guys to get to the quarterback. Charles Rush, what a great name for a lineman, huh?
He's a stud. No question about that. 3rd down and 27 yards. Oriole back, looks. They're going to throw underneath, and there's just nothing there. I'll tell you what, I feel Erie Prep gaining confidence as this game goes on. Jake Lynch on the coverage on the pass to Camburn. And the Prep crowd on their feet. Applauding the work of the defense that time. 4th down and 27 to go.
Take a look right here and stop. Everything being kept in front of Erie Cathedral Prep. They're letting nothing get behind them.
Well, I think Erie's got the speed advantage. I thought that was the case maybe coming into this thing.
4th, 3rd down conversion possibility so far for CB West at only 1 conversion.
Camburn, pretty good kick. Hinkle wanted nothing to do with it. Cardinal sin, and there it goes, wobbling toward the end zone, and they down it at the 1.
Oh, man.
Doesn't get any better than that now, does it? And that's why you try and make the catch.
Ed Hinkle knows. He's walking slowly off the field, heads down.
And he's going to have
Cardinal sin, right?
Yeah, he's going to have to visit over there with Coach Mike Mishler in a second, and that's a Cardinal sin, too.
That's about 2 feet from the goal line. Oh, boy.
Nicest thing for Hinkle right now is the fact he gets to stay out on offense.
Yeah.
This is where, as a coach, the poor guy doesn't want to have to come over there and see you right now. See you later when you calm down a little bit.
41-yard punt to the 1-yard line. This will put Erie, and they'll just run a quarterback sneak to buy some room here. George Zurich counting up a lot of the numbers for us all weekend long. We could not do this weekend without George. He's our MVP at times. There's Carlson, just nudging forward, couple of yards for some room. That's all they wanted to do.
Yeah, try to get a little bit of breathing room.
The immediate goal right now, if you're Erie Cathedral Prep, get a 1st down. That's the biggest thing you could ask for, and then build from there.
7-7 the score. Wow. Carlson back, looks, now he's throwing, and they didn't really run the right route. Hinkle zigged and zagged the wrong way. Pretty good coverage, too, by Ted Kenyon.
Smart play as well by Carlson just to throw it away from everybody and make sure that nothing bad was going to happen.
3:56 left.
Your side.
Got to have confidence in your quarterback to call a play like that from that end of the field. To do the right thing, not throw it into coverage, not eat it.
It's going to be DeMond Sanders, and they're going to have to punt out of their own end zone. There's just no room in there against that wall of Central Bucks West. I mean, this is one of the top defensive and offensive line units just from their technique. It's flawless, and it's just tough to move out of there.
Well, and Central Bucks West now is going to get very good.
Yeah, he's kicking into a win. Hinkle back there.
Yep.
Didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No problem, Jeff.
7-7 game, and CB West is really going to get good field position. Boy, get away from that football. I'll tell you what, that's playing with a live grenade. That almost rolled up the back again of a couple of Bucks players, and here we go, right at the 40.
And that was an ugly punt, but it certainly turned out a lot better for Erie Cathedral Prep than they could have imagined. It rolled all the way out to the 40-yard line.
They got a nice, fortunate bounce. CB West, best field position to start a drive in some time.
Big story, in case you're just joining us, Dustin Pisciotti injured an ankle in CB West's second series, and his status being evaluated. They hope to bring him back in the second half. Camburn He's been a bolt of lightning today. He's got it to the 34-yard line. He's their leading ground gainer so far in this opening half.
Here's Charles Rush once again. Charles Rush starting to take control here. Came in on the bull rush last series.
First or last time you say that.
Yeah. Recorded a big sack. Quarterback Mike Oriole.
You get an idea just how big Rush is when you look over there and look over the line at him compared to the other guys. 6'3", 265, only a junior. He's a young one. Look at that guy.
Timeout there. There's Charles Rush, number 59 in your program. Cameron's run 9 times for 55 yards. He's the leading ground gainer for Central Bucks West. Mike Mishler, only 30 years old, but again, he's got Joe Moore on his staff. Teaches offensive line play probably as well as anybody in this country. Was at Notre Dame under Lou Holtz. Was there, I think, for one of their national championship years.
You know, it's not easy being a head coach of a successful program. Last Friday, a week ago, Mishler and some assistant coaches left their game at Hempfield, and Greensburg drove all night to Harrisburg. Then they left Harrisburg very early Saturday morning, drove to Bethlehem to scout Saturday afternoon's Class Quad A Eastern Final against Bethlehem Catholic and CB West. Mishler and his staff arrived back in Erie at Sunday about 3:15 a.m. Handled some media duties Sunday morning, and then it was back at it preparing for CB West. So that's how he spent his last week.
Well, long drive, no big deal to him, because in college he's sophomore at William & Mary. Drove up for the finals in Altoona at Mansion Park. So
people don't realize when you're coaching a state championship run, I don't care what sport it's in, you're working, you have tunnel vision. You don't get to enjoy all the things that other people enjoy around that whole run.
Yeah, they only see the finished product on game day, Gary.
I can tell you that for sure.
Here's Cameron. He's got a hold of the outside and slams to the 30. He's close to a first down. I think he's got it. He's there, about the other side of the 30s where he needed to be.
Here's one of those situations where we see the line of scrimmage actually move before the runner gets there, as we see Cameron getting the pitch out here on the sweep. Look at the push out there. Miskey actually getting taken down by Rush, and then Rush shedding the blocker to go get a good tackle. Great pictures by our WITF team.
Ball out just slightly. Slide the ball straight.
See, they have to bring him all the way across. I'm not sure if he's got it. We'll see. And by the nose of a football. First down, Central Bucks West.
Go back and look at Rush again if we can in a moment. Here's a guy you can't play one-on-one right now. This guy is absolutely unstoppable when matched up just with one single person. Look, watch the play again. Look at him. Here he is. Here's Rush right here, 59, moving across the line, just running over Miskey and bringing down the ball carrier, Cameron.
That's not a powder puff he's playing with either. Miskey's a turning starter, great player. That's a great matchup to watch tonight. Miskey will get his share. Blumgren, that ball is down, and Blumgren somehow got back and covered up. Now, let's see. I thought Blumgren got on it.
Yeah, I believe he does. I believe number 4 Blumgren does.
I don't know. 33 for Erie. That being Eric Field says he has it.
Get away. Get away. Get away.
Here the officials.
Ball was loose. You had an inadvertent whistle. We're going back to the end of the run.
Blumgren lost it then.
But in Blumgren's case, the second time is at the ground that caused the fumble.
Okay, inadvertent whistle.
They say his knee down. It'll be West
We have an inadvertent whistle. We're going back and replay it down.
Whoa.
Whoa, baby.
Huh.
Well, our first controversial call of the weekend.
But when the whistle blows, there's nothing they can do. Now they're going to go over and explain it to Mike Mishler. And this is obviously not going to be.
Okay, okay.
He's not a happy dude.
Let me explain it to you. Okay, he had an inadvertent whistle, and by rule.
Let's not put that live there, guys, just in case it gets a little tense. 7-7, 12 to go. Second quarter.
No, you don't take it. It's all right.
So now I'd get.
Well,
I mean, it's just a natural reaction.
Yeah.
But the whistle blows. There's nothing you can do about it.
That's right.
We got to look over
happens.
there. Coach Mike Mishler listening very carefully, and doing a nice job over there. And okay, this time they're going to double team Charles Rush. Watch this. 2 guys come up. They're going to double team. You saw Miskey along with Andrew Elsing that time double teaming Rush, but of course the fumble, the main focus of the play.
That's no doubt that was a fumble that probably goes Erie Prep's way there.
This could be a very huge inadvertent whistle. We'll wait and see at 2:04 here in the second quarter.
About 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Orioles going to throw it. Got a man. Ball is tipped. Boy, I'll tell you what, Erie Prep just getting big surge on Mike Oriole, the quarterback for Central Bucks West.
Like Mike Ward.
Second down.
Mike Ward coming up very quickly that time out of his defensive lineman spot, and
that's Jake Lynch.
Jake Lynch actually got it, and Ward had a shot at getting the interception.
Looking for Dave Cameron out there on the flats. He was open.
Well, we've seen them run that play for years in the state championship, Mark, and for years regular season. Because, you know, you have to respect the run. This program's based on the run. So when they do play action, it's a handful for you. The bite. Now they're going to do a reverse to Cameron. This may break open. Does a little bit to about the 23-yard line. And who else in on the stop? He's having a heck of a first half. Damon Sanders.
Well, they show misdirection
and
here.
Joe Dupree there.
Misdirection here to Ryan Blumgren going the other way, and then they come back to Cameron. Now watch, misdirection. Blumgren dives in line, and now here comes Cameron around the near side and finds a little bit of running room.
It's Joe Dupree who runs all the way over and makes the play.
I'll tell you what, Damon Sanders came very close to wrecking that play and possibly caused a fumble in the backfield.
Well, he's had a heck of a half. Oriole flag is down. Might be a motion here. Let's see. And the pass incomplete. Intended for Ted Kenyon. But somebody jumped for Central Bucks West, I believe. 1:06 left here in the opening half. Each team with one timeout left. Here it is.
Hey, white captain.
False start. Interesting call. It's 3rd and 4. I think you got to take penalty. Because they've got a prevailing wind to their back. Certainly not as dramatic as we mentioned as last night with Strathaven's win, or earlier today with Tyrone's 13-7 win against 13-6 win rather against Mount Carmel. Here it is.
Illegal formation against the offense. Repeat, 3rd down.
Now it's 3rd and 9.
Tumulty with 3 field goals this year, number 11 for Central Bucks West. He is the kicker, obviously.
So you got about, let's say, 5 to 8 more yards of range with this win.
He's going to need another 8 yards before he really is in range.
They're in lockdown range. Now you got a whistle, and we'll just kind of figure out. And we're back to live action. Oriole into center. 2 wide receivers out. Oriole back into the pocket, under the gun, and down he goes. Another sack. Tim Dance. Check that. It's Mike Cray.
Give credit to Eric Field for turning that play in from the far side. Eric Field coming up hard, a linebacker spot. Take a look right here. Stop. There's Eric Field. He turns it in and now forces it so it can be picked up
right into rush
by Mike Cray.
And you know, you turn everything inside, and who's inside? Big number 59, Charles Rush.
He's something. He's good at down guys. I've seen in not only this tournament all year. He is as advertised.
And Nick Daly has his hands full tonight.
Big hug again on Rush.
Oriole on 4th and 11. Throws. Got a man. Pass caught. And short of the first down is Kenyon. And he was hit and dropped by, I believe, Tom Morgan over there.
And Jason Easter coming up too.
Easter as well.
Easter's showing you how to fundamentally tackle in the open field correctly. Watch this. Nice step up that time. Good pass. Now watch Easter come up and make the play right here. Easter comes up and says, I'm taking you on. Bang, and down.
It's a great open field tackle from Jason Easter. 5'7", 160-pound defensive halfback.
Here's Carlson. He's going to throw. There's a man and undershot him.
Looking for Hinkle on a cross.
Hinkle wide open on a cross. No question.
I'm a little surprised right here that Erie Cathedral Prep is throwing the ball with the field possession that they have at the moment. But, it talks about a winning attitude here in the state championship.
31 seconds left here in this opening half.
There you see Jason Easter on the far side, an outstanding open field tackle on defense a moment ago.
And let's see what this is. Maybe another
I think Hinkle jumped off sides.
false start.
We've had more flags probably in this game than if you add up the other 3 games for the whole weekend so far.
No question. Yep, there it is, the jump.
Oh, it's
Charles Rush.
left side of the line, Charles Rush.
Sorry, Charles, we don't mean to be pointing all you guys out on these
The
things.
universal right hand to the head going, oh, man. And it's on statewide TV, too.
Did I do that?
We love the game you play. Have no fear.
Yeah, he's done enough other good things that one's going to get absorbed.
They're going to just let this calf come to an end. I don't think Mike Pettin has a problem with that. His team's been out of whack since the injury to Pisciotti. They've had great, spectacular field position this entire first half and have not cashed in, Mark, at all.
Yeah, no question about it. And, you know, I'll tell you what, the Erie Prep defense has a lot to say about that as well. Charles Rush is a real handful there in the middle, and the linebackers are very active. Great coverage from the secondary. Good team effort from Erie.
We have come to halftime, and we are right back where we started. Each team with a touchdown in the opening half. We'll have first half stats, first half highlights, interview with PIAA Executive Director Brad Cashman, and of course the third quarter of this Quad A championship game back in Hershey in Chocolatetown, USA after this.
You're watching PIAA Championship Football exclusively on PCN, the Pennsylvania Cable Network.
The PIAA is a Pennsylvania nonprofit corporation organized on a membership basis. Membership includes most of the public and many private high schools in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. The PIAA develops and enforces rules which are authorized by the member schools to regulate interscholastic athletic competition. The PIAA was formed in 1913 by a group of high school principals to establish uniform rules, eliminate abuses, and place interscholastic athletics in the overall context of secondary education. The purposes of the PIAA are defined in Article 2 of its Constitution. They are to organize, develop, and direct an interscholastic athletic program which will promote, protect, and conserve the health and physical welfare of all participants, to formulate and maintain policies that will safeguard the educational values of interscholastic athletics and cultivate the high ideals of good sportsmanship, and to promote uniformity of standards in all interscholastic athletic competition. The PIAA believes that the student athlete is best served by a system which emphasizes the amateur, educational, and character-building aspects of high school sports, a system which recognizes that athletics is not the driving force, but rather that students are in school primarily to obtain an education. The membership of the PIAA consists of approximately 1,300 schools, divided almost equally between senior high schools and junior high middle schools. Of that membership, approximately 150 are private schools. Nearly 250,000 students participate in interscholastic athletics under the PIAA each year, placing Pennsylvania 7th in the United States for the 1997-98 school year. The 4 major areas in which the PIAA currently operates are the following: establishment and enforcement of rules governing the eligibility of high school athletes to participate in interscholastic athletics. These include rules for academic performance, attendance requirements, transfer students, pre-participation physical evaluations, age, and amateur status. Organizing and operating 27 post-regular season playoffs and championships in 10 girls sports, and 31 post-regular season playoffs and championships in 11 boys sports. Adopting the playing rules for each sport under its jurisdiction. With the exception of bowling, golf, girls lacrosse, rifle, and tennis, all other playing rules adopted by the PIAA are published by the National Federation of State High School Associations, of which the PIAA has been a member since 1925. Registering and training officials to officiate at contests in which the PIAA member schools participate. Nearly 13,000 officials are currently registered with the PIAA. The PIAA's principal source of revenue is the sale of tickets to its playoffs and championships. Gate receipts enable the PIAA to operate without taxpayer financing. The PIAA also provides services to its members on a day-to-day basis through its headquarters in Upper Allen Township, Cumberland County, near Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. The PIAA assists member schools and families by providing the student-athlete with opportunities for achievement.
It would be easy for us simply to work with PCN to offer these telecourses, and that would be it. In other words, a student tunes in, they interact with the instructor, they get their transcript, they're done. We believe that a college experience should be much more than this. And so we have developed a full range of services, advising, counseling, the bookstore. We're working on student activities as well. If students have a problem, whether it's a personal problem, whether it's a problem in the course, we believe that there should be a telephone number that they can call, toll-free. If they have access to the internet, they can get into our webpage and ask one of our counselors, one of our advisors, one of our tutors for some additional help. And so we've put additional resources into this area because we're not doing this simply to generate additional revenue. We're doing this truly to help people to be more successful.
For more information, contact Montgomery County Community College at 1-888-636-MCCC.
Hello, and welcome to the Pennsylvania Cable Network. We're delighted to join with you in celebrating high school athletics in the Commonwealth. Everything that we do here at PCN, from our daily coverage of the General Assembly to programs exploring manufacturing, from carriage of significant Pennsylvania events to our satellite distribution across the state, all of this is made possible by Pennsylvania cable television companies which carry our network on their channel lineup. Often at PCN, we'll list the names and service areas of local cable TV providers. These are the community-minded companies which voluntarily pay a monthly fee to cover network programming and operating costs. PCN receives no state funding. We are supported instead through the generosity of cable systems which make PCN available to their subscribers. In watching high school sports on PCN, we hope you'll remember the commitment of Pennsylvania cable television companies. They're the ones that make this network and today's programming possible.
Homework Help on PCN is a live 2-hour interactive call-in program for students in grades 1 through 12. State-certified teachers will work through math and science questions with students.
5x times 3 gives you 15x. And Jesse, what do you get if you add the 2x and the 15x together?
17x.
That's exactly what you want.
Homework Help on PCN airs throughout the school year on Sundays, live at 5 p.m.
I'm James J. Duratz of the Pennsylvania Cable Network, and I'm here with my wife Helene today because we have some exciting news on the sports program. And Helene, I got to tell you that I'm really shocked that you're here to talk about sports because you're constantly complaining about too much sports on programs and you can't get me to do anything.
Well, Jim, would you like me to give you an explanation to that?
Yes, I would.
In my view, too many sports events today are based on salaries and other cash considerations. There is no spirit. With these high school championship games, and remember, Jim, we'll be viewing the telecast of the girls' events for the first time. Yeah. You see spirit, enthusiasm, the desire to win, just good fellowship at its very, very best.
And remember, Helene, this is the championship games we're talking about, and it could be the last straw for so many of these young men and women to represent their schools.
That's a very interesting point, Jim. Why don't we take this opportunity to invite our good Pennsylvania friends to join us in viewing the championship games of both our young men and women on the Pennsylvania Cable Network, PCN.
Sounds like a wonderful idea, Helene.
Good. We'll see you all there.
PIAA championships throughout the year exclusively on PCN. In February, team wrestling. In March, individual wrestling and boys and girls basketball. In May, boys tennis. In June, boys volleyball, girls spring soccer, baseball, and softball. In November, girls tennis, girls volleyball, field hockey, and boys and girls soccer. And rounding out the year in December, championship football. For additional high school sporting events, check our webpage at pcntv.com. Live coverage of the Pennsylvania Farm Show begins Saturday, January 8th on the Pennsylvania Cable Network. Watch the championship rodeo, livestock judging, horse and pony pulling contests, sheep to shawl competitions, and many other events capturing the flavor of Pennsylvania's premier agricultural showcase. Around-the-clock coverage of the Pennsylvania Farm Show begins January 8th on PCN. And now PCN's exclusive coverage of PIAA Championship football continues.
Welcome back to the Hershey Park Stadium, and we are at halftime. There's your score, 7-7. Let's see how we got there. Other numbers, the storyline, of course, Dustin Pisciotti injuring his ankle in the second series of this game. Central Bucks West pretty much dictating tempo as far as time of possession. A little bit of an advantage there. 8 first downs, 100 total yards for CB West, 78, of course, on the ground. Erie Prep, 17 of those yards, I believe, came on the touchdown pass from the 24 yards, rather, on the pass from Carlson to Ed Hinkle, who just took it away from Ted Kenyon in the corner of the end zone. 1 turnover each. West fumbled by Dustin Pisciotti, and then Erie Prep, Carlson fumbled, and that led to West's only touchdown drive. And let's take a look and hand it over to Mark Shuey for some of the highlights, and we'll show you the injury as well to Dustin Pisciotti in this opening half.
Well, we're going to start, though, with Dustin Pisciotti, one of his few carries in this ball game, and it's not a good one. Eric coughs it up in the first quarter of play for CB West. That has been a problem this season for the team. It only has a +1 in turnovers this season. Then it was Prep's turn to commit the turnover. Eric Carlson, quarterback for Erie Prep, looking around. And look, he coughs it up as the ball gets knocked out there.
Showalter, that was a great play. He was all over him in that first half.
Okay. That set up a touchdown drive, but before that, okay, here, stop. Injury. We have the injury here. Look over here, Dustin Pisciotti. This is what we're talking about. He injured his ankle. Keep going, keep going. Right here, Charles Rush turns over Dustin Pisciotti's ankle. And it's away from the ball, clearly. Dustin Pisciotti never returned to the game, so the game took a dramatic turn on that particular play. It was a touchdown drive for Central Bucks West, and we're going to see the touchdown right here. It's Ryan Blumberg in from 1 yard out, but it was a very costly drive, a 27-yard, 6-play drive, and that was Dustin Pisciotti's last play of the ball game. Now, we've got Jawan Walker here. He's going to take off on a 24-yard run. This was the longest running play from scrimmage for Erie Prep in the first half of play. Jawan Walker, 28 yards in the first half of play, most of it on that long run. Now we're going to see the Prep TD. It's a 24-yard pass play. And there it is, Carlson to Hinkle, but it's almost intercepted. Hinkle fights through the interception, and one of the most creative efforts from a wide receiver we've seen this weekend, and that's Ed Hinkle with the big touchdown reception, giving Erie Prep the tie with Central Bucks West at the half of the Quad A championship game.
This is down on the field. The wind's a little bit more significant than I thought it was, sitting up here, obviously, and a lot more comfort in the press box. Let's go down to the field right now. Our Gary Sutton is with the executive director of the PIAA, our host this weekend, Mr. Brad Cashman. Gary, take it away.
They say you save the best for last, and we've got the best here in Brad Cashman, the executive director of the PIAA. The last championships in the 1900s. A little historical tonight, Brad.
Well, this is a historical event, no question about it. We're really pleased to be here. We've had 3 great championship games, and we're halfway through a 4th one. We couldn't ask for a better finale. 2 top-ranked teams, USA Today, playing for a state championship. It's been great so far.
Brad, you look at the weekend, so many people involved in bringing off a championship like this. I guess we start with our people here in Hershey.
Absolutely. The people at Herco and Hershey Park have been just absolutely fantastic. They're in the entertainment business, the family entertainment business, and they've just proven it again this year, this weekend, that they put on the best show that you can have.
Plus the people that have kept this field in such outstanding shape all weekend as well.
Absolutely. The grounds people have done a great job. They actually babied this thing. I think they've They pay more attention to this field than they do their own families, which is not good sometimes, but in this case, we're really enjoying it.
Brad, one of the things we've been astounded by all weekend has really been the officiating. We have the advantage up there of having instant replay. It's really borne out the fact that these guys really do a great job.
They absolutely do. We feel we had some of the best crews we could bring into these championship games this weekend. But you know, the officiating is really only as good as the quality of the game itself. And we've seen 3.5 great games and well-played games. And officiating just goes along with it.
I know every year you and I talk about sportsmanship, but I don't know that we've ever seen it better exemplified than this weekend by the 8 teams that have come here to Hershey.
That's a good point, Gary. We really are proud of the teams that have come in here. They've done a great job with the sportsmanship programs. They really have first-class operations, and it carries over not only in the classroom but also in the athletic field, not only in football but in all sports.
Well, I know one of the things that happens, too, we talk so much about kids playing on the court or on the field or on the rink or wherever they might be, but we talk about character, and these kids certainly show the character doesn't end just on the field. It starts in the classroom.
Absolutely. And one thing I'm extremely proud about our kids in this state is we think that dignity and respect are making a great comeback, and these are just fine examples tonight and this afternoon, yesterday afternoon, last night, of dignity and respect making a comeback, and the character counts in the part of the players as well as the adults that lead these teams.
And Brad, you probably don't hear it enough, but maybe the last thank yous have to go out to you and your staff, Bob Lombardi, Melissa Nash, and all the other people who are so important in bringing off a championship with style, as you have certainly done this weekend.
Well, we appreciate that, and I would be remiss if I didn't thank also our support staff. We've got a great group of ladies back in the office. Deb Alford, my secretary, Bev Owens, Anita Fox, they work at the official program, Bob Lombardi, Linda Rudisil, Kathy Smith, our new bookkeeper, and all the staff that we have is just really doing a great job for us, and it's a day-to-day thing. They come in there, they plug away, they do a great service to the schools and to the officials. And last but not least, the voice that you hear when you call the office first is our receptionist, Sherry Dean.
And speaking of voices that you hear, it's been our pleasure in a partnership with the PIAA this weekend for PCN and the WITF production crew, bringing you these championships around the state. We appreciate that partnership.
Well, you guys do a great job. I can't express enough the fine job that PCN, WITF does, and you two guys do with the announcing and the color commentaries you bring with you. It's been a great experience, a first-class affair, and we're really appreciative of that.
Brad Cashman, not assistant anymore. We've got all kinds of assistants today. Executive Director of the PIAA. We really appreciate everything, and again, congratulations on a great weekend.
Thanks, Gary. It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Chet?
All right, Gary Sutton down with the PIAA Executive Director. We got a shot of the Central Bucks West mascot. He's right in season tonight. Reindeer.
Well, there's a shot at Dustin Pisciotti.
He's walking on it, Mark.
Yeah.
I got to think he's iffy at best. I mean, I know it's a state championship environment. I mean, you can really just see the disappointment. I mean, the whole mood of this game from a Central Bucks West standpoint changed. I don't know if we can get that replay back since we do have some time before we kick off in the second half. It's Charles Rush, the great defensive tackle for Erie Cathedral Prep, who went after him. It was a ball fake.
Yeah, it was a fake handoff to Pisciotti up the middle. Charles Rush, as he is supposed to do, went after Pisciotti on the ball fake, and the play went to the left side to the near sidelines. And during the ensuing play, Charles Rush tried to drag down Justin Pisciotti and kind of rolled up on the ankle. Perfectly clean.
And he's, from what we're hearing, done for the night. And Mark, take us through this. Charles Rush is number 59. He'll come into your program.
Coming over here. The ball fake came to him. Rush, right there, is looking for Pisciotti. Watch right in here.
The left ankle.
Left ankle right there.
Yeah, he rolled right through it, Mark. Oh, they ain't doubt.
Yep. See, Pisciotti, he thinks Pisciotti still has the ball at this point, and Rush, right in there, is rolling up on Dustin Pisciotti's ankle. He thinks he still has the ball and is making the tackle on Pisciotti, and there you see it wrapped up.
It is the right ankle there, and that's the one that kind of got turned. You know, Rush is a big guy, obviously, 265 pounds officially, and it's just a tough one, your final game of your career, where you're going to sit out. At least that's the word we're getting. I mean, that's obviously could be subject to change, but he is just just a sensational football player, and I think the player of the year in this state.
Well, yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. You know, what's that taken out of the Central Bucks offense? Well, it's taken almost 1,700 yards rushing, 37 touchdowns.
He's a pretty good decoy, too, for anything else you want to run, play action in the leg.
And, you know, he comes to play on the big nights. Last year, the state final, ran for 236 yards.
Well, they're the Erie captains. Number 20, Damon Sanders, has had as good a night as we've seen in the defensive backfield. I mean, he's covering the run, Mark. He hasn't had much to do in the passing game, but he is a physical force.
Sure is.
Let's go down there here. This referee, Donald Woodward.
We welcome Gary Sutton back to the booth.
Okay, White, you deferred. Your choice. Which way you want to kick? Want to kick to that goal?
Defend that goal.
Backs over here, Black. Over here, White. Here, White.
Central Bucks West will ride the wind in the third quarter.
Have a good half, gentlemen.
Again, you know, it's not as bad as it was this afternoon for Mount Carmel and Tyrone. Tyrone won the game, by the way, 13-6. And it's certainly not as bad as last evening when we were at 40 miles an hour plus with the wind with Strathaven and West Allegheny. But it's still significant.
And it's still bone-chilling cold down there on the field. And
this just didn't file, Gary?
Yep.
Yep.
And those steps are growing. I think they added about 10 flights since I ran up there this afternoon.
Well, I think in retrospect, your interview with Brad Cashman, I think it's safe to say this, that with Hershey as the environment really over the last couple of years, the bowl situation that they've been able to create here with Candy Lane and the other attractions, the Hershey Lodge, the Hotel Hershey, and all of the things that are around, that by having it here, it creates, indeed, just one of the premier sporting events, and one that's a circle event on the calendar every year.
Family and entertainment atmosphere, it really is, and it's fun. You look around here, you see the lights everywhere, you see the crowds, feel the excitement. I mean, it's all happening right here.
Well, keys, obviously, for Erie Prep, it was, you know, either get the lead or stay close. 7-7, that's close. For West, they're going to have to kind of reinvent some things. But the system helps, Mark, a lot.
Well, the system does help, but now Coach Mike Pettin may have to bring in new people. And Central Bucks West has had one problem this year, and that is with turnovers. So, with these new people, you can't expect maybe new people to come in and execute as finely as maybe the others, the frontline guys. But Central Bucks West, no turnovers. I think you really have to cut down on your ability to make mistakes and try to force Erie Prep into making some mistakes.
I think you also have to be careful with your Central Bucks West not to leave your identity too quickly and start to go to the passing game and eschew the running game.
Bob Tumulty will kick. This is Hinkle. He is a blur across the 30, 35 to the 38-yard line. Good return upfield. Damon Sanders to the 38. Tackle is made by Cambron.
You want to see how fast this guy is. Watch this. He gets to a hole. Now he's going at 1 speed. Now watch him turn on the afterburners. Stop right here. Just a little hole right in there. Watch how fast he gets through it. Look at this. Just a blur, as you mentioned, Jed.
Eric Carlson is the quarterback, 5'11", 190-pound senior. He's got the arm to be able to play with. If he exploits Sanders, big hole, gets to the outside. Look out, he's in the clear all the way down to the Central Bucks 40-yard line.
Just a simple off-guard play that he turned into a huge play. And let's watch him.
You can credit the speed of Sanders for making this play click. Watch this. Seal block there on the side. Charles Rush leading the way. And he just outruns the defense.
Jake Lynch really set a block there that got him wide open to the outside. Jake Lynch, of course, a 6'2", 210-pound senior.
Cameron there to push him out after a 21-yard gain. It's going to be Jawan Walker, I believe, to the 40-yard line. Gain of 2 or 3, and that's it. Ryan Blumgren in on the stop for CB West. Big start for Cathedral Prep here in this third quarter. Opening minute in a 7-7 ball game in the championship in Quad A. All day long, throws over the middle and it bounces free. Cambron almost intercepted. Pass intended for Josh Lustig, and the ball just sailing on Carlson a little bit.
What outstanding play by Dave Cameron back there. Going for the ball, playing it right at the last moment. You'll see him reach over the top. Good hiding the ball right there by Carlson. Now watch. Cameron, man in front of him. Cameron's going to come right over that right hand. And really, the ball was just thrown behind that time.
Yeah, Cameron was actually playing the man, and the ball was thrown at him.
I gave him way too much credit that time, Jeff.
Those timing routes, you've got to have the ball there when the receiver turns around. Carlson back. This time, Lustig, knee down at the 30-yard line. Well, I thought his knee was down at the air. Going to mark him down all the way to the 24. We'll see this again in replay. It looked like his knee slipped, but he probably kept it up.
Well, we'll see when he puts the knee down. Let's watch here. Good pass. Carlson really putting some zing in the ball. Stop it right here, and we're watching the knee. Watch it again. Ooh.
That's down.
Knees down. Right there.
5-yard break for Erie. They're going right back to the air. Step around move. Yep. And Lustig's still going, but tell you what, did he fumble the football? Did it come loose?
How many times you see that happen?
To see. Kenyon thought that ball popped out of there, and they're saying maybe the ground caused the fumble.
I think that's exactly what they're saying. It's going to remain second down, and it's going to remain with Erie Cathedral Prep.
Well, we're going to be able to see this again here. They're calling it second down. Got to wait as Erie's in and out of the huddle. 10:15 to go, and most intriguing start to this third quarter. Carlson under center. This is DeMond Sanders. Big hole to the outside of the 10-5. Erie Prep's on the lead. Touchdown. 17 yards. DeMond Sanders.
Second time we saw that play run in this series, and both times for big chunks of yardage. And watch the hole open up right here. He tests the middle, quick jute, and right behind number 59. And we're looking right there at Charles Rush. Who else offensively leading the way?
Big time hole exploding on the right side. His 21-yard gain started the drive. A 17-yard run ends a scoring drive. And on for the conversion is Jason Dolick. Kicking into the teeth of the wind. High snap. Kick up. No good. It's short.
I'll tell you, people who tuned in to see a fine running back aren't disappointed, because DeMond Sanders is certainly picking up and looking like one of the top backs in the state, which he is. DeMond Sanders coming in. Here's where we're going to see the kick. And here you see some of the wind, the effect of the wind. You can see the flags in the background there.
That's not a wounded duck. That's one that got killed up in the air, just coming down.
And here's DeMond Sanders.
Watch Rush leading the play here. Here comes 59 to watch. Right in behind him, the tackle. 59 Rush, and right in behind him, Sanders. And you can see how easy it is to make decisions when you got a big guy out in front blocking like that.
Boy, Charles Rush on a defensive halfback. That's a tremendous mismatch.
Well,
Charles
Sanders,
Rush,
a great player,
270 pounds. There's DeMond Sanders. Broke his foot earlier in the year, October 9th, on a defensive play. He was coming on a blitz, tripped over his own teammate, missed 6 weeks of action.
I know that he is being recruited heavily as a defensive back, probably the University of Iowa's.
Let's take a look at
leader. Here's the extra point, but we are going back to live action here momentarily.
Not a good snap, not a good hold.
Just got underneath it there. It's kind of like hitting underneath a wedge shot that gets on a lot of grass. You never really hit the ball.
Kenyon calls the fair catch. Well, for Central Bucks West, here's your game reset. Dustin Pisciotti, your star player, leading ground gainer, linchpin, franchise player, out of this game with a ankle problem that was suffered on their second possession. A 44-game winning streak, very much up in the air now, trailing 13-7, but they did trail in the Eastern Final a week ago, 14-7, late into the fourth quarter. Oriole, this is Cameron. Cameron, step around move, but not much there as he gets slammed down at about the 35-yard line by Jason Easter, and now Cameron's hurt, and keep in mind he's been suffering from shin splints.
Here you go. Here's the pitch back. Student body right, as it were. Pitch back to Cameron. Good blocking out in front. A guy that's been blocking well the whole game. Miskey leads the way. And Cameron comes down hard on that left ankle.
You know, you got to expect, I mean, this is Central Bucks West's 15th game of the season. And, you know, these kids, they just punish one another each and every weekend.
And we talked about Cameron. He's got shin splints, and he's been in agony. I mean, Pisciotti coming into this game.
Oh, right here.
There it is. Yeah. The helmet of, is that number 79?
That's going to be Jonathan Sitter.
Jonathan Sitter came in.
See it one more time.
Rolled up on the right leg of Cameron.
Court idles. Court idles. Court idles.
And you've got, I think I said hip pointer earlier in the game on DiGiacomo. But he's suffering from an ankle injury, which was suffered against Bethlehem Catholic last week. So
doesn't seem to be a ton of concern here. I think he's okay.
At the ding.
Yeah, he got, well
I think they're always
concerned. Not putting a whole lot of weight on it.
Considering
he looks considerably better than Dip Pisciotti when he came off the field.
I'll tell you what, unfortunately that looks all too familiar to Coach Mike Pett.
Well, the thing that really hurts you in the high school game is that you are losing 2 positions because guys play them both ways.
That's exactly right.
Cameron's a great player defensively for them. DiGiacomo is in at fullback, or at the tailback spot. They're going to go to Blumgren. He's going to get a lot more touches now, and he slides to the 40. Short of a first down. It'll be 3rd and short upcoming now for Central Bucks West. You're looking at Ryan Blumgren, Travis Blumgren, his older brother, started his career at Penn State.
Again, super blocking up front, and we saw Miskey again opening up the initial hole for Blumgren to get through.
Miskey, 3.65 grade point average, and the reason Coach Mike Patton likes him, he says, hey, intelligent people, they make intelligent decisions.
From the eyebrows up, this team is hard to match. Very smart, very poised football team. Blumgren head down right at the stick. This will be a mark. I think he's there, but they'll probably bring the chains in just to make sure. No need to. They like what they saw right on the field.
There's another familiar sight that Coach Mike Pettin doesn't want to see Dave Cameron getting his right ankle looked at.
Much overused trainer's table tonight from a Central Bucks West standpoint.
Taking the shoe off, getting a better look at things.
So he's not back anytime soon. I'm sure they're rushing things through, but they want to make sure he's okay. Oriole, this will be DiGiacomo's second carry. DiGiacomo flies forward into the air, and he's got good yardage. Joe Dupree is there to bring him down. Talked about Dupree, 6'5", 235.
And here you see again the pitch out.
Got an injured player.
Nice job of looking over the defense and then leaping for as much as you can get.
DiGiacomo's also the backup quarterback for Central Bucks West, so that tells you where they're at on the depth chart here.
That's Jonathan Sitter, who's banged up, and he's in pain at the 46. Well, we knew there was going to be nothing subtle about this game. The hitting has been ferocious on both sides in the trenches, as you would expect in a Pennsylvania State Championship.
Like I said,
that's actually Mike Ward that's down there. Check that. I'm sorry. Forgive me. That is Jonathan Sitter. You're
Sitter,
right.
as we said.
Jonathan Sitter, who looks like he's just got the air knocked out of him.
Erie Cathedral Prep comes in. This is their 14th game of the season, number 15 for Central Bucks West. So, it gets this late in the day. And I'll tell you, you're going to have these kind of injuries. Everybody's going to come in with some kind of dinged up bangs or scrapes. You can't go through 14, 15 games and not take a couple of stingers. But especially the level of competition that these two teams have been playing week in, week out since the playoffs began. You're going to take some hard knocks.
This is the 4A game. Lots of big bodies hitting each other out there.
Ball at the 46-yard line for Central Bucks West, their own 46. Oriole under center. This will be DiGiacomo trying to get outside. I don't think so. Joe Dupree says, you're going down here right away with power.
And DiGiacomo reaching for his right leg as he's trying to get up, but you'll see it here. And they went right at him, got him right around the right ankle and pushed him down. And DiGiacomo is up.
He's limping, but they're going to have to take him out.
He's trying to run it off. There you see the Erie Prep faithful. Big contingent coming down from Erie. Watching there.
You talk about one of the
Prep team,
one of the great sports towns in Pennsylvania. You're talking about Erie.
No question about it.
One of my favorite restaurants ever up there, Hector's.
Oriole back, looking, under the gun, has wide open field. Erie Prep climbs all over him at the 48-yard line. I believe that's Tom Morgan on the stop.
Josh Lustig also there, laid a lick
And where they're spotting the ball, a first down for Central Bucks West.
Here we're going to see Oriole looking to throw, but the coverage is there in the secondary, so he just takes it up under his arm and starts to run, and look at that pop.
Look at him dive for the stakes, though, and that's the kind of play you need right now. Is someone's got to step up with all the injuries that are hurting Central Bucks West. Cameron out, Bishotti out.
The Giacomo walking off a balky ankle. Motion man right there is Kenyon. Blumgren with the carry and nothing there at the 45-yard line. I'll tell you, the gang tackling of this prep defense, most impressive. The first guy there is Eric Field.
And there's what Blumgren sees as he's met by two people right along that line.
Looks to me like the trainers are putting the shoe back on Dave Camber.
There you see Eric Field, who just made that last tackle.
He's limping around a little bit.
It's tough out there, I'll tell you. It's cold, a little bit windy, and they are banging hard.
These two teams both played very tough games last week
in their finals. Blitz is coming. Oreo unloads, and Kenyon did not hang on.
Oh boy,
he trapped it in the ground. Henkel is there on coverage.
Did Oriole pay a price for that one?
Oh, he went down, didn't he?
He got pancaked. Watch this.
Watch Oriole from this angle, and we'll see if we can see the end of the play. Guns it downfield, but watch the hit he takes.
Ooh. Right off your screen. That's how hard that was.
Charles Rush in the front, and I don't know who. Some white bullet coming in from the side. Number 4.
You're on TV.
That's
no,
Jason
you're not.
Easter coming from the defensive halfback side on a blitz. All I just saw was a white jersey come flying in.
9th play of the drive for Central Bucks West. They got to convert 3rd down and 9 as Oreo goes rolling. Looks, throws, pass, dropped. Sensational play by Josh Lustig in coverage. Kenyon just couldn't hang on. Lustig popped it out of there.
That's the way you play the defensive back position right there, as Lustig just came up and wrapped him right away as soon as the ball touched hands. Take a look at it again, and you'll see how hard it is out there to catch a football. And you catch the ball, as we said, you draw a lot of company, and here it is. Watch this. Catch it and hit. Lustig.
13-7 our score. Erie Prep on the lead, and Central Bucks will punt. High end over end kick by James West. And Henkel's down in a pile all the way back at the 6. Henkel's had a rough night in punt returns. He let one drop, put him all the way back to their 1-yard line. This time he picks it up, and all of a sudden there's 5 or 6 Central Bucks West players all over him.
Special teams play definitely going the way of Central Bucks West tonight as they pin Erie Cathedral back inside the 9-yard line now and hope to be able to hold them in 3 and out. Erie Cathedral Prep looking to try to build another drive to maybe take them home to glory.
Well, they went into the win for their go-ahead score in this quarter. Devon Sanders, he took a wallop at the line of scrimmage and somehow held on to the football.
That was Angelo Polina up front that time, really meeting him initially.
How about that? All the seniors you see today have not lost a game.
That is incredible. Last loss for Central Bucks West came back in the 1996 season. Lost to Plymouth Whitemarsh. Since then, they've peeled off 44 straight victories, including 2 state championships.
Those who played as sophomores, rather, it's probably easier. Sanders again, he gets free. Check that. Jawan Walker to the 17-yard line.
You know, and what makes that run from Central Bucks West even that much more amazing is I think it's very, very difficult to even try to get back to the state final round in the Quad A level, let alone win it twice in a row and get back a 3rd time. I think that is just an amazing feat in itself.
Tyrone beat a defending state champ earlier today in Mount Carmel in AA, 13-7.
Oh, we've seen some great football here this weekend. 4 great games.
Sanders has a big hole. Look out. And he's across the 30 to the 31-yard line. What a flashy talent he is with a football. He just darts to the line of scrimmage, and boom, he's in the open space.
That off-tackle play has been so good to this team this half. Look at this here. Wide open. Look at that. Sanders threw again. He ran 2 big plays before, including one to set up the touchdown, and now here he is again.
Andrew Elsing in on the stop there. 1st and 10 for Prep at the 31, and we've got a flag. See what this could be. Probably lining up in the neutral zone, maybe. It's against Prep.
Dead ball. False start. Against the offense. Repeat first down.
That creates 1st and 15. 4:36 to go in this 3rd quarter of play.
Really can't see any movement along the line from there. Must have just been lined up.
Now Central Bucks West has lost one of their top players, the top guy on the board, Dustin Pisciotti, to an ankle injury. Dave Camburn is probably going to return. He was hurt. And now throwing into there is Carlson, incomplete. Carlson, nice heady senior. This is a senior-oriented offense for Erie Cathedral Prep. Young coach Mike Mishler, in only 2nd year on the job, has navigated his team to a state championship, and here he is on the lead in the 3rd quarter.
But Mishler looking rather dapper over there with his tie and blue sweater on.
Carlson, quick handoff to the outside. Big hole for Jawan Walker, but it closes in a hurry at about the 29-yard line. Looked like Walker was going to get free there.
Well, you might wonder, why do you run over the right tackle all night long? Take a look. You put number 59 over there, you get in behind a guy like him, and also a guy like number 74, the pulling guard, Dale Williams, who's 6'7", 285, and you may find some holes on that right side of the line.
That's like college weights and heights that we're talking about here. Carlson on 3rd and 11. He's 0 for his last 6 in the air. He's going to have to run out of the pocket, and down he goes again. In on the stop. Great game today for Andrew Elsing, who's been crawling all over him back there. Now they'll punt into the wind. 3:33 left to go here in this 3rd quarter of play.
And you'll see right there, you want to keep the quarterback in that lane up the middle. Don't let him get to the outside. And a beautiful job by Central Bucks West defensively, keeping the quarterback honed in.
Oh, Hinkle hits it high into the air. And Erie will cover at the 47-yard line. Erie Prep leads by 6, 13-7, 3:10 left in this 3rd quarter of play. And the Central Bucks West fans coming to their feet, trying to urge their offense on. Their sense of concern is here. This is gritty, this performance here by West.
Yeah, they've certainly had to dig deep into the depth tonight that has been Central Bucks West with his 44-game winning streak. As prophetically, we see number 44 run onto the field last there. Central Bucks West, I think the fans now, with 3:10 to go here in the 3rd quarter, know this is a time.
This is a pitch. This is going to be Andy Schmidt. Schmidt positive yardage into Erie Prep territory to about the 48 or 49-yard line. Joe Dupree is in on the stop for the Ramblers.
Look at this, the pitch out, Andy Schmidt looking it over.
About 5 or so.
Good pull that time by Ryan Blumgren, leading out in front of him. Now Schmidt able to go by the block by Blumgren and pick up yardage.
Officials timeout there to the 48-yard line, 2:44.
I think we're seeing what we talked about earlier on is Mike Pettin, coach of Central Bucks West, putting people in, giving a lot of people a shot to play here, trying to find the right combinations, put the right people in for the right plays. And it's deemed necessary due to the injuries to the running back core.
Andy Schmidt, no, they're going to throw out of this. DiGiacomo is a backup quarterback, and he's sacked all the way back at the 46-yard line. Who? Joe Dupree, number 40 for Erie Prep.
And that's the consummate coverage sack. Nowhere to throw it right now, and all of a sudden, all kinds of white and orange converging on you. Dupree leading the pack.
Damon Sanders coming up, blitzing out of the defensive backfield.
That young man, number 40, has had quite a game tonight.
Same with 20. I'll tell you, they've got some really significant talents.
6'5", 235, and goes like a jet.
And Dupree is already looking at major schools, hearing from the likes of Notre Dame, Penn State, the University of Pittsburgh, all of the majors among the pantheon in the country. Oriole Oriole looking on 3rd and 12. There hasn't been much open downfield. This one is, but it's good enough for the first down. Nice catch by Kenyon, who's had to make some plays out of the wide receiver spot.
You almost sense that they have to throw more than Coach Mike Pettin wants right now, but watch Oriole set up. Squares those shoulders and now really puts a little mustard on this pass as he finds his man downfield. Ted Kenyon, good catch, first down, Central Bucks West.
They're running away from Charles Rush's side, too. Smart thinking.
Good job.
The other problem, guys, is that without Pashotti in the lineup, Erie Prep on defense is not showing as much respect for the other guys as they would, so selling the play fake is certainly harder to do with Pashotti on the sideline. Although his jacket's off and he's trying to test that ankle. I think he sees his team down by 6, and he's going to try and gut one out.
A smart move here by Central Bucks West in the second half has been to make most of their play calling to the left side and away from Rush, and they continue to do that, and that time a very, very nice pass play.
Yeah.
Looking for Dave Cameron on the sidelines, too. I not seem to be able to spot him.
I haven't seen him, but I know Pashotti has taken his jacket off.
Yeah.
I mean, they may say he's out, but he may change their minds. Blumgren, big hole up the middle, has 5 and about 8 yards all the way up to the 33-yard line. The 2-time defending state champs, showing you why they are just an incredibly tough out.
Well, you don't get here as a one-man team, and you can see right here Blumgren going through, and again, that blocking, ever consistent for Central Bucks West. The leading wall for whoever is running behind it.
Joe Dupree in on the stop again with 1:05 left here in this third quarter of play. 13-7, Erie Prep on the lead, but Central Bucks is driving here. Going to be Blumgren, nothing there. Hit immediately by Jason Easter.
Up easy, up easy.
Make that Tom Morgan.
You know, a play they ran in the first half, they being Central Bucks West, that they've not run at all this half, was that little play-action play where Oriole fakes the handoff and goes around the outside himself as we see Blumgren brought down one more time. Wouldn't be surprised to see that somewhere here in this next 2 or 3 plays.
Pashotti is really trying to stand on that ankle. It's his right ankle over on the Central Bucks West sideline. I don't know. We might just see him yet. Timeout, Central Bucks West. 16 seconds left in the third quarter.
There you see Dustin Pashotti. It's that right ankle, heavily taped. The good sign is that he's upright and walking around on it. It took him at least another quarter after he injured that ankle to get off the trainer's bench and be able to put a little bit of weight on it. When he first left the field, he could not even put a bit of weight on it. But it wasn't even touching the ground.
It's still really ginger.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, watch this, guys. This is Oriole coming over. Polina, I think, was late coming onto the field, and that's why they had to use a timeout.
Ooh.
And he's hearing it as well over on the sideline from the boss.
Coach Mike Pettin's calming things down there, getting the troops in order. I mean, you know, with 16 seconds left in the third quarter of a championship game, that's not the time to start bickering among yourselves as teammates.
Well, as a coach, you want to see your kids police themselves, but maybe not deliver the knockout punch.
That stuff happens in practice, but not in the third quarter of a championship game.
I'm sure that will be forgotten about.
Oh, yeah. You know, what happens
there? The emotion of the moment.
Sure.
It's team. I mean, you're talking about, hey, we can't afford mistakes right now. We got guys that now see him running back with him. This is beautiful. You see the young man running right back there with him, Oriole, talking to him and saying, hey, listen, come on, we're a team. We got to win this game as a team. We can't be making mistakes now.
Polina's a senior who's been a member of the previous 2, a significant contributor. Here we go on 3rd down and 3 for Central Bucks West. Hand off Blumgren, and he may have tripped over Oriole.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah?
That's exactly what happened. Oriole was late getting his foot out of there. Watch this.
Here's down low.
Here's the handoff. And now right there, you see? The foot.
No, he tripped over his own leg, looked like to me.
Either way, it's 4th and 4.
Yeah, the stumble happened right at the outset. There we go.
As usual, we'll get a look at it. Had to be some kind of contact, and that's the end of the third quarter of play. And Central Bucks West now will look at 4th and 4 into the wind. There's some of this large crowd. We have great crowds for both sessions today and really all weekend long.
Oh, you know why? Because the best teams are here, really. And this year, the best teams made it to the finals, no question about it. And I think that's one reason we've seen 4 great games throughout the weekend. each and every game has been a very compelling matchup.
Oh boy, looky
I
there.
don't know how you do that.
Those guys ought to be on the team.
That's Joel Bechtel. Flip Cousins over there, our director.
I'll tell you, that's a tough crew. Suit those kids up if they'll wear a jersey. Looks like they like to go bareback. There's Joel Bechtel, executive
There's the
producer.
real Joel Bechtel with Melissa Nash.
Now, which is the better looking of those two?
That's a hard call. Melissa knows we're kidding.
We love Joel. He does a great job. Really
Our
does.
executive producer runs all over the place over these 2 days. Ball is down, and it's covered immediately. And
that's Dave Camburn.
Camburn.
The good news is
that'll go
Camburn
back to Erie Cathedral Prep on downs.
Yeah, but the good news is Cambur's back in the ball game for this fourth quarter for Central Bucks West.
Turnovers or near turnovers have been a real Achilles heel throughout this year somewhat for Central Bucks West. They've been able to manage the giveaway takeaway disparity. I mean, they came in +1, but I mean, they have turned it over, and Mike Pettin told us one of these days it's really going to catch up to us.
And there you had a quarter break that turned out to be another timeout and really did not make the most of it.
Erie Cathedral Prep now on the break. This is Jawan Walker. Boy, I thought he had a big-time hole, and Elsing came in to just close it down along with Rob Bowser.
Rob Bowser makes a heck of an ankle tackle here. Watch this. Got the draw play, and now here comes Bowser, and wham.
Swim out of them. Your coach taught you how to swim out of that.
That's big-time athletic ability right there.
Sure is. Rob Bowser, defensive lineman, offensive lineman. Says it's the best offensive lineman, Coach Mike Pettin says, on the team.
Back goes Carlson, play action. Carlson dumps it, pass caught, first down. They got the big tight end of the 49-yard line. That's a huge gain right there as Jake Lynch comes up with it.
Big Jake on that play. Watch Carlson hide the ball really nicely on his hip. Right here, look at this.
Yeah.
Hides it on his hip. Now he sets up. He just bought himself an extra second and third. Now he can step up into the pocket, put a little mustard on the ball, and there he finds Lynch. And Lynch does the rest. He gets 5 more yards on his own.
You're right, Gary. That takes some great athleticism from a quarterback to hide it on your hip, turn around, square up, and throw it with your right hand.
14 yards on the play. They're playing with a wind prevailing somewhat to their back. Big hole up the middle by Sanders. And, oh, did that close in a hurry?
Oh, my.
Whoa.
Brian Callahan.
Gavin Potter stepping in there as well to shut it down. And watch this. Wide open hole that, wow. I see a black and gold.
That linebacker spot's been an active spot for both teams today.
That was a vicious hit there on Sanders. Erie Cathedral Prep. Would this be an upset? Yeah. 44-game win streak. Walker trying to get to the outside, but Central Bucks West will string him out. Blumgren finally wraps up the play. Good play by Polina to block out the lane. And Blumgren cleans up the deal right on the outside, creating third and about 6 here for Erie Prep. It'd be an upset. Simply, you got a back-to-back state champ. You got 44-game winning streak. You got the third-ranked team nationally in the country. Erie Prep 9th.
What people don't know, though, is how far you've had to dig into your bag of tricks tonight with all the injuries, and that's the intangible that people around the country would not understand, not taking anything away from Erie Cathedral Prep.
Now they may have jumped off in the neutral zone a little bit.
Second up 5.
Well, one thing I like about Mike Pettin, he'll never make that excuse afterwards. Here's the call.
Start. Gets the offense. Still third down.
Ball start.
Erie Cathedral Prep only 1 out of 8 on third down conversions thus far in the game.
Yeah, but, you know, I would term it maybe a mild upset because, you know, you've got an Erie Prep team that's just come in and just destroyed people all season long, beat a very good Woodland Hills team to get here.
Top scoring team in the state of Pennsylvania.
West is leading 2-1 in the 3 games played. Walker, big hole, has 5, and he's got positive yardage across the 45 to about the 43-yard line. Colleran is there for the stop.
I can hear the quarterback.
Holohan.
They started to send the punting team onto the field, but now here they come.
You want to kick because you've got the wind to your back, and you can dictate some field position. That's a big stand for that CB West defense right there. They really needed that. Get the ball back. Underneath 9 minutes to go now in the football game.
Well, you don't get to these kind of championships without great character on the part of both teams.
Now they want the band down.
Well, Coach Mike Pettin chatting this time and saying the band can't play.
I've never seen that.
No, I haven't either. We've seen a little of everything in this game
This
today.
has been an entertaining game in every sense of the word.
Talking it over.
You know, you can pick on anybody you want to in the stands, but don't pick on the band.
I think I heard Coach Mike Patton tell the referee, he goes, well, my crowd can yell then, right?
You can see the players starting to get the crowd into it.
Coaches, too.
That punt will go into the end zone.
You know, they always say in education that there's 3 groups of people you don't want to make bad. The custodians, the people working the cafeteria, or the band. I think the referee just got the band on his bad side.
13-7 with 8:48 left in the fourth quarter.
I said, I can't hear the quarterback.
And now the Erie Cathedral Prep band's getting fired up on the other side. They don't have a band.
Well, stakes are getting it's winning time here. Into the football game, big hole, Bob Warden's first carry. And he's hit into by Joe Dupree. Warden, fresh legs, a junior.
I'd like to have that be your first carry of the game. You're in a state championship with 8:32 to go, and you're down by 6. And look at this. Rumbling over the left-hand side.
Hey, he's fresh legs. Right now, that's big in this game. Warden's going to get a second opportunity. Cuts to the outside and runs right into the coaching staff over there, short of a first down. Third and about a yard.
Oh, boy, big Nick Daly.
Getting up, too, aren't they?
Big Nick Daly slow in getting up. He's been banging into Charles Rush all night.
Take a look. He has to get right up here to the 30-yard line, or just inside the 30-yard line, about 29.
8:15 to go in this football game. 13-7, Erie Cathedral Prep leading here.
Short yard.
Blumgren flies forward, and I think he got it. He had to get across the 29.5. He should be all right for the first down. He is. That'll move the chains. Well, Central Bucks West, 44-game win streak, back-to-back state championships. Table stakes are high here.
You know, this is only the second time since the PIAA championships began in 1988 that a WPIAL team is not represented in the Quad A game. So it takes one heck of a team to knock out the WPIAL from the Quad A title game.
Oriole, this is going to be a keeper. This is a design play and gets out of bounds at about the 45-yard line.
I think that was actually supposed to be a handoff. I thought Oriole just fumbled the ball momentarily and kind of grabbed it and said, well, I'll take care of it myself.
And we're going to find out here.
Watch this. He really doesn't get the handle on until the end and says, oh, I'll take off.
Well, I think he saw that Blumgren was going to get whacked and pulled it out of there.
Good decision by the quarterback.
Yeah, Mike Cray was coming in.
That's
his linebacker spot.
Yep. That's DeMond Sanders. He's
dinged up too.
He's emptied his tank. He's had as fine a game, Mark, as I've seen in this tournament in the defensive backfield. He is all over the place, creating and wreaking havoc. This is Bobby Warden, third carry. Ooh. That's a big-time thrust there. Josh Lustig, Eric Field called his name a lot, and the big war daddy down there, Charles Rush.
Charles Rush.
What a handful he is. That's a motor that doesn't stop running.
Yep, here he comes.
Look at the convergence right there from the linebackers, and Charles Rush came in from the interior line.
Charles Rush
Great pursuit.
On the ground, Charles Rush is scary enough. In the air, it's like watching a bomber coming at you.
3rd and 3 for Central Bucks West. Handoff, Blumgren picks his way to the 40-yard line. He's about a half yard shy of a first down. They may have to go for it here.